Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon, let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. Hi, guys.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
Oh,
How are you?
look at it, Jenny.
Today.
You see what he did, Jenny? He got a sport coat of slacks on. Now, this is not your normal ensemble. Now, don't talk about, I come like this all the time. Sport coat and slacks, huh, Skip?
Somebody pays really close attention to what somebody else is wearing.
Doesn't miss a
and
beat.
somebody on this side never even
Yeah.
notices what somebody on that
Got
side
a new little outfit. Guess what?
It's
gonna
an old
No,
outfit.
ain't old. Ain't nobody seen that one before. But it's going to end up like
Special day?
it's going to end up like the old ones with defeat, covered in defeat.
I'm feeling really good.
That's okay.
Feeling good is a
Super
good
Bowl,
sign.
here we
Okay.
come.
Boy, we are jumping the
we
gun
are
on
going
that
to
one.
we are going to Miami.
We are going to be there. I don't know about his team. We'll see about that. Packed show, guys. Is Tom Brady more marketable than reigning MVP Pat Mahomes, Shannon? And Eric Dickerson tells us who he thinks is the best running back in the league. But first, hey, Zeke Watch continues. Jerry Jones squashed any rumors that Zeke was recently offered any new deals yesterday during an interview with a local Dallas radio station. Jerry said there is nothing new to report with the negotiations. Jones also said that the team was prepared to play without certain players due to injury, suspension, or even a holdout. When asked if the Cowboys would need to lighten Zeke's load for Week 1, Jerry had this to say.
Listen, we've got a marathon here, and we want Zeke when we get to the playoffs. We want Zeke when we're in the dog days of this season. And as you well know, you have to plan your personnel, and you have to manage a player the caliber of Zeke. You have to, as to what parts of the game you use him, how much rest you use him. And so fresh Zeke, as we got on into the end of the season, would be great.
Well, Shannon, how many games will Zeke miss during his holdout?
Oh, Skip, what happened?
games?
What happened, Skip, to Tuesday? You know, you say you're not worried till Labor Day, right?
We're getting
It's not your turn. It's not your turn.
Ain't Labor Day?
No.
I must have overslept. I don't know.
I believe he will miss a minimum of 4 games. This doesn't sound like the positive Jerry Jones, Skip, the guys that says wouldn't use the word holdout. Zeke just hasn't reported yet. Remember, that was the big thing, Skip. He hasn't reported yet. This isn't a holdout. Now, let me tell you what Jerry said. Now, this is what Jerry said a couple of weeks ago. It's too good for them, and it's too good for the Cowboys. Let me say that again, Jenny. It's too good for them.
said that.
It's too good for the Cowboys. Now we want a fresh Zeke when it comes playoffs time. Now, I just want you to know, Jerry, you've been very dismissive of these other teams. You automatically assuming that Skip Bayless hates that. Skip Bayless hates when someone says, oh, you like these other teams just going to lay down for you. Oh.
Doesn't work that way.
Now he says he wants to manage a player of Zeke's caliber. You want to manage his load. Now, this is what he said back in 2016. The more we can give Ezekiel the ball, the better. Now you want to pay a guy X amount of dollars and lessen his load. Where do you get more money and do less work? Where do they do that at, Skip? I want that job.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. I love it. The only thing that's going to get these sides to move one way or another, and I believe Jerry Jones is doing this because he looked at the schedule and he says we have some very favorable matchups early on. Now, we know during the course of the year, there'll be teams that you look at like they're not going to be very good and they're better than you think. And there are some teams that you look at and you say, oh, they're going to be pretty good, and they're not as good as you think. Jerry Jones is looking at this schedule, Skip. He's looking at it like, we got the Giants, they're not very good. We got Miami. Now, let's just say for the sake of argument, they had the Patriots, the Saints, the Eagles to start the season. I think we see Jerry Jones singing a little different tune. But he does not seem as positive as he once did. These things get done. Oh, it's going to get done. Now he's talking about not a fresh Zeke come playoff time wouldn't be such a bad thing. That doesn't sound like a guy that this deal is right around the corner because, excuse me, as he said, there have been no movement. It's been reported that the Cowboys have not offered anything different than what they had at the beginning. So Zeke, like, well, I'm not motivated to move. one thing is going to move the player or the team one way or another. The schedule, the record. That's going to move the Cowboys or that's going to move Zeke. It's as simple as that.
Jenny, I got to tell you.
What's up?
I feel so sorry for my partner across the table.
Don't you feel sorry for me?
Sorry for him.
I just feel so sorry. I'm highly amused, but also feeling sorrier by the day for him because he has become a puppet on the strings being pulled by my owner, Jerry Jones. He has become a victim and a prisoner of Jerry's ever-changing, wildly erratic and misleading rhetoric. Because that's what Jerry's doing right now. He's negotiating. He's playing good cop with this comment and then bad cop with that comment. And Shannon is the puppet on the strings one way or the other.
Shannon's 51. I can't carry the ball. He need to worry about that 24-year-old Zeke Elliott. Don't worry about me. I'm good over here.
I'm going to reiterate one more time.
Okay.
Ezekiel Elliott will be in uniform and in the lineup for game 1, signed, sealed, and delivered by Jerry Jones.
I want 10 cases to do right now.
Okay, 10 cases. You got it.
10 cases,
Game
Skip
one.
Bayless.
Game one.
Game
Yep.
one.
Game
Okay.
one. You are wildly overreacting to what is just a classic negotiation. And the master negotiator that I have ever encountered in all my years of covering pro football or pro sports dating back to the 1970s is Gerald Wayne Jones Jr., one Jerry Jones. This is what he does best. Jerry says a lot of dumb things, but he ain't stupid when it comes to managing the salary cap and negotiating contracts, playing the game, as I call it, of blink, as in who will blink first. Jerry does feel like he has some new advantage because he's no longer working without a safety net, because he has had Tony, don't call me Mike Pollard, fall right into his lap, right straight out of the heaven that is the 4th round for the Dallas Cowboys. He now has the Dak Prescott of running backs, Tony Pollard, the rookie, and he has seen enough, and Zach Martin, as we heard yesterday, has seen enough, and I told you early on, I've seen enough to say he is a quality NFL back. He is not Ezekiel Elliott, but they could win 2 games. They could probably go 3-1 in 4 games with Tony Pollard as the lead back, as the bell cow back, as the between the tackles running back that he was underutilized as at Memphis. That was the coach's fault, and again, Will McClay.
How do you know that was the coach's fault?
Well,
Maybe he couldn't beat the other guys out.
I know what I saw when I watched Memphis play. This kid would flash. And Darrell Henderson was drafted in the 3rd round by the Rams. And he was more of a battering ram, you know, between the tackles. Okay, good luck. So we'll see as the years wear on. We'll see whether the 3rd rounder is better than the 4th rounder, won't we?
You see what you did there?
Well, I didn't do anything.
Who's better, the 3rd or the 4th rounder? Well, put Henderson with that offensive line.
Oh, well, there we go.
Well,
that's a big part of the equation. Jerry's got that on his side, too.
Okay, but Skip. Okay, Jerry also said, Skip, he wants to manage Zeke's minutes and things of that nature. Okay, you want to manage a guy's minutes. Let's just take basketball. They said that, okay, when LeBron came back from injury, they wanted him to play somewhere around 32 minutes. Okay, that's fine and good if you're blowing teams out. But what happens if you're up 1, down 1? And 32 minutes go to 36 minutes. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, Skip Bayless, Zeke has 28 carries, and you need to run out the clock in the last 5 minutes, and you got a 3rd and 1. Tony Pollard carrying the ball? Oh, yo.
Absolutely.
Skip Bayless, stop playing now.
Said, he didn't ever carry the ball at Memphis. Good, he's fresh. He's completely healthy.
I can assure you, if Ezekiel Elliott is on the team, Tony Pollard is not carrying the ball at 3rd and 1.
Sure, I agree. I've told you from day one, Tony Pollard gives you a good 1A back, a backup back, who can share some of the load with Zeke and extend Zeke's career.
I'm saying, he says he wants to manage Zeke's minutes. Okay, which means he wants to manage his carries. All I'm saying is if Zeke's at 30 carries, 28, 30 carries, it's 3rd and 1, 4th and 1.
Okay.
Or you going to say, well, you know what? Zeke's at that 30 carry mark. We can't give him the ball anymore.
Yeah.
Tony, get in there. You and I both know if Zeke Elliott's on that team.
Well, obviously.
Well,
Why are we even discussing that?
Because-
That's just silly. That's completely off point.
Well, you call Jerry silly.
I didn't call him silly.
Yeah, you did, 'cause
I
he
said
said it.
Jerry's going to get this done. He's not saying managing minutes. He's talking about keeping Zeke away from out of harm's way. And I've told you from the start, I'm just going to have to reiterate what I keep saying day after day. This has worked out beautifully for both parties involved because Zeke has been kept off the camp practice field where every once in a while the injury gods point their finger down at somebody and it's just so egregious and so unfair that somebody gets hurt and lost for the year in a camp practice.
Yeah.
I sleep in fear of camp practices because I covered too many of them, and there are too many goal line drills where the running back, or even 7-on-7, so you never know.
Right.
You plant, you cut, just one little wrong move.
It's football.
And you're gone for
Yeah.
the whole year. So it's been a beautiful thing to watch that Zeke has been reportedly in Cabo for all these weeks, trying to stay in some shape. Obviously, he's not in game shape, but he will report, signed, sealed, and delivered at some point next week ahead of Game 1. He will play some snaps in Game 1, and he will do what he always does. He will play his way into game shape in Game 2 and Game 3.
Okay.
And then by Game 4, he will be full speed ahead,
But
riding high.
my thing is, okay, Skip, if there has been no new offer, why is Zeke motivated?
You know what? How do you know what has really transpired between the two sides? They're not going to tell you. People aren't, Ed Werder can't just sit in on the discussions, right?
Hey, these people report they're getting it from somewhere.
What have we been reporting? Like last week, you completely swung the other way and you said, oh, that's it, it's over, he's going to report. That's what you told me.
Hold on,
right,
Skip,
you
hold
sat
on.
right there
Hold on,
last week.
Hold on. They said they were willing to make Zeke the second highest paid running back.
Okay, that was a report from the first offer. They said the first offer made was somewhere between Le'Veon and Todd Gurley.
Okay? Right. I said, now, if Zeke...
you said, oh, well, that's it. Then it's over. Well, that's been on the table from the start.
No, that's not what I said.
Yeah.
I said, what player holds out to be the second highest paid?
Well, but that was the offer on the table, so...
Hey, where's he at?
Okay.
So clearly he didn't accept it.
But last week you were saying, it's over, he's coming in. You told me that.
Skip.
You said it.
Skip.
We can check the tape.
We can check the tape. I said, it strikes me as odd that professional players, nobody plays to be second best. I believe he's holding out to be the highest paid. Now, if he wants to concede...
Okay, but last week you said he's coming in with an offer on the table as the second highest paid.
No, I said if he's willing to concede that, yeah, they can sign him. But it doesn't...
Well, who knows whether he's willing to concede that? I don't think he is willing. I told you it's going to be right there with Todd Gurley. One of those categories will be above Todd Gurley. It'll be the average, it'll be the bonus, it'll be the guaranteed. There are three areas.
Skip, if it's above Todd Gurley's, they're resetting the market. Stephen and Jerry said they're not resetting the market. Now, somebody's lying here.
Okay, but the total deal will not reset the market. The total package, whatever it is, 4 years, X million, it will not reset the market. It just won't, because they do have many stars arriving right on time, all together, and they will take care of all of them. And it's your only hope to derail my team that they can't take care of everybody.
The only hope that you had is that what Jerry's been doing for years, he's been trying to circumvent the agent and deal directly with the player. And guess what has happened, Skip Bayless? Every time he calls Zeke, old Rocky pick up the phone like, hello? Can I speak to Zeke? Nah, Jerry. Click. Oh, he tried to call Dak. Todd France answered the phone. Click. He called Lamar. Joel Siegel answered. Click. So if he stops trying to circumvent and be sneaky and deal with an agent, we can get these deals done. But you want to be sneaky.
Okay, I'm going to say this again. I'm going to reiterate what I've said from the start. If Zeke and his agents had been smarter, they would have sent Zeke to camp on time because Zeke plus Jerry at training camp equals deal would get done much sooner and maybe a little better for Zeke.
What happens is if he sends Zeke to training camp, Jerry gets to talk to Zeke one-on-one.
Yep.
And that's the buffer that Rocky Arsenault deals with.
Here's what you're missing. Where Jerry has a soft spot and a weak spot in negotiations is if the player gets to talk to Jerry because Jerry is a player's owner. Jerry, to a fault, loves his players, many of them,
Hey, Jerry,
like sons.
I guarantee you.
I think he loves Zeke like a son, and if Zeke had walked off the practice field arm in arm with Jerry one day, Jerry would have said, you know what, he's such a good kid. I love him so much, and we've been through so many battles together. I'm just going to give him more than Todd Gurley.
You know what,
And
Skip?
Stephen would say, don't do it, Jerry.
Yeah, he does. But let me tell you what the sons Jerry loves more. He loves Ben Franklin, Abraham Lincoln, Ulysses S. Grant. Those are his favorite sons.
No, those are his forefathers.
Yeah, he loves those. He loves those sons more than Zeke Elliott. Skip Bayless, you know Jerry Jones loves his money. Now you know that.
He's got more than you and I will ever dream of
Name
spending.
the man that says, you know what, I got too much money.
Yep.
Name the time. People can say, I got too many clothes, too many cars, too many watches. I've never heard a man say, man, I got too much money. Jeff Bezos has never said that.
Unfortunately, Jerry Jones owns a team that plays in a league in which
That they gotta
the
do-
rules say you can only spend
Hold up.
X.
That's Jerry Jones's job to worry about that. My job is to maximize my earning potential. I'm not worried about the cap.
Okay, so Jerry Jones, I'm going to tell you this one more time. Jerry Jones knows the psyche and the mentality of one Ezekiel Elliott. And I believe that Jerry is betting that in the end, Zeke wants to win more than he wants to earn. I told you yesterday, your business is all about earning or winning. Which is it? They don't always go hand in hand, do they?
Which can I eat with? Can I eat rings or can I spend money and get groceries?
Okay. Well,
Can I live in a ring or can the money that I make buy a house?
But at some point, the players who win the most make a choice where they'll say, I will earn this much, but I don't really need to earn that much. I'll just earn this much because for the sake of the team, I want to win. Zeke knows they are on the verge of winning a Super Bowl.
Skip, can I ask you a question?
And it is up to him to take a little less.
No, it's not.
Okay.
What?
All right, well
What?
then, so you're telling me he prioritizes earning over
You
winning.
see,
Is that what you're saying?
You're doing the same
No,
thing that
I'm not
Jerry thinks
doing
that-
anything.
You try to see, if he won't give us a discount, that means money is more important than Super Bowls. No. Why do teams always ask the player to prioritize? Skip, you remember when the owners in 2011 locked the players out because they wanted a bigger chunk of the pie? Why didn't they prioritize winning over locking the players out?
Why didn't the players prioritize earning at that point and just stay out until they got whatever they wanted? Nope, they crumbled.
But Zeke says, and guess what? I ain't crumbling. And that's what Rocky is for. Because he know if he the son Zeke to camp, Jerry's in his ear every day walking off practice, twice a day in the meeting room. Zeke, we got this deal for you,
You
Zeke.
would have gotten a better deal.
No,
I know, Jerry, you would have gotten a better deal. You missed the boat. You missed the point. Sorry, it's fine. But you're going to have to pay the price. And now we're entering, as I told you yesterday, into the toughest window of the negotiation. These are the dog days of the negotiation.
I'm good.
These are the hard days because it's all about patience. And nobody I have ever been around in pro sports has more patience in a negotiation than Gerald Wayne Jones Jr. This is what he lives by. This is his Super Bowl, and he has a plan, and he is executing it on time.
I like Zeke's plan, too. I'm a holdout.
Okay, well, we'll see because, boy, that clock ticks slowly down in Cabo. It's just like, look at your watch and you say, it's only 3 o'clock?
I had a delivery, had me a shipment of
3
like
o'clock?
25 Popeye chicken sandwiches.
Really?
Yeah, they out.
What?
Yep, 25 of them, that old Zeke.
Really?
Munching
I
on
hope
them.
he's
Chilling.
not. I hope he's not eating.
Don't worry about
Popeye's
what we do.
chicken
Hold on. You worry about Gerald Wayne Jones, Jerry, what they call
Jerry.
him. You worry about what he got going on in Dallas. Don't worry about me and Zeke down in Cabo. We chilling. We lunching.
Okay. Well, Jerry is not chilling. Jerry's
I know.
wheels are turning
I know they are.
quickly because he's right on pace with his plan. He's right on schedule for this next week. And the
Look at Zeke.
beautiful thing
Look
about
at Zeke.
this...
Look at Zeke. Woo! Woo! Tony Pollard, Marcus Pollard, Bernard Pollard. Can't do that.
Do we have any 36 video? I
No,
don't
we
know.
sure
I'd like
don't.
to see
We
it.
sure don't. We sure don't.
At first, I didn't like 36 on a running back, but then I was thinking, well, Jerome Bettis wore it, so maybe
Oh, so
there's a
now
little
he's
bus.
bust. So
There's
now
a
he's
little
bust.
bus in Tony Pollard. He can ram it between those tackles,
Oh,
right?
my goodness.
Well,
There's no
Pressure
bus.
for this
36?
guy.
Yeah.
No.
I don't like it. It looks like a fullback number, but whatever. It's okay.
You gotta
Well,
take the numbers you get.
Bus was a fullback
I
in
know,
college
he
and wore
was.
number 5,
No,
though.
that's what I'm saying.
But
So,
Skip.
okay, look, here's what you're missing also about Jerry Jones.
Okay.
He's made it real clear. spills his guts occasionally when he says, hey, I'm going on age 77, and he believes his life window is closing. I don't know why, because he's still a reasonably young man. I don't think he's way past his prime, but he talks about how his life window is closing. He knows this team is really good. He said yesterday also, we like, it's either he or Steven said, we like our roster right now as much as we've ever liked any roster that they've had, and that would be post the Jimmy years.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, okay. But in recent years. So the point is, do you really think that over foolish pride that he's going to let Zeke sit all year or even for 4 games? He's not going to do it.
Well,
Come on.
Zeke says,
wise up.
Zeke says, he's a young man in relative terms. But in football terms, at the running back position, he's not a young man. Zeke says, I got to get to my money. Because guess what, Skip Bayless?
Guess what, Shannon Sharpe?
When Zeke Elliott leaves the NFL, they're not going to be cutting checks for $1 million every 2 weeks. When Jerry Jones hands the reins over to Steven, guess what? They're still going to be cutting checks for $300, $350, $400 million every year. So Zeke knows he has to get his money now.
He'll get it.
No, he's going to get it. I want him to. And I want him to hold out to make sure he get every dime. As a matter of fact, I want $10 million more than Todd Gurley. The price just went up, Skip Bayless. I just want you to know, if you start this season 1-3 or 2-2, the price is going up $10 million. $10 million.
Well,
Goes up.
Yes.
Desperation.
Yes.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Now, if y'all start at 4-0, it might come down.
Yeah, that's a good point. It is a big risk, a game of chicken that you're playing.
Risky behavior.
So again, you're missing the point because you're panicking the way I think a lot of Cowboy fans are probably starting to panic, and Jerry isn't panicking.
You know, last time he played a game of chicken, he lost. You know, in 1993, the last time he played a game of chicken,
right in the middle of it.
He lost.
Yeah.
He lost.
Very different. You know what? He didn't lose because he had already just won a Super Bowl trophy. He had just won it thanks to
wanted another
Smith.
one.
Well, he got another one.
Yeah. And all he had to do, if he didn't want to pay the money, all he had to do was say, "No, I'm gonna win this thing without Emmett." But as soon as they lost that second game, what he did? He hopped on the phone quick. As a matter of fact, called Emmett from the plane. They had phones on the planes in the seat back then. You remember that?
Do I? I used to use it. And I'd look at the bill like, God, I did that?
Yeah, $10. Like, geez.
I forgot about that. Are they even still in planes? Probably not.
No,
That'd be
I
a
don't
bad
think so,
sign if
no.
you're on a plane.
Guess who won that negotiation between Jerry and Emmett?
Emmett.
Guess who won? No,
Emmett.
Jerry won
Emmett.
it hands down going away.
He called Emmett.
Because Emmett came in for a little less money than I thought he should have, a little less than he originally wanted, because Emmett was just as anxious to get back as the team was anxious to get him back.
Well, Skip.
And wait a second.
Okay.
That team was so loaded.
Yes.
It was an embarrassment of riches that they had.
Could they have won without Emmett? Because if Jerry thought they could have, he wouldn't have offered. He said, "This is all I'm offering you, Emmett."
Okay, so they got blown out at Washington, and then they came home and they lost 13-10 to Buffalo.
Yeah, they did.
And obviously they were struggling on offense. Could they have made the playoffs without Emmett? Maybe, just because the team was just so good with so many Hall of Famers on it.
Would they have won?
But again, Jerry went and got it done. Emmett took a little less than he should have, and guess what happened right on schedule? A bombshell got dropped in the media, which created the biggest momentum you can imagine for a reigning Super Bowl champion. And you know how hard it is to win back-to-back.
Absolutely.
And all of a sudden, this team had a whole new life and new momentum, a new springboard into the final 14 games because their guy was back.
Yeah.
And they took off just as he took off.
That guy was back, and what did he win that year?
He won the MVP. And then guess what he won in the postseason? He won the Super Bowl MVP.
Say what?
So Jerry was right on time with that one, wasn't he?
And
Wait a second. Did it cripple that team that Jerry forced him into a holdout? Nope, not at all.
No, but
Sorry.
he came, Skip. He came back.
He did.
What would have happened had Jerry says, "Emmett, I offered you this, and I'm not going up another dime." They're not the Super Bowl champ because no matter what you think, Emmitt Smith was the best player on that team, and they could not have won it without him. Ezekiel Elliott is the best player on that team, and they can't win it without him.
The guy they couldn't win without is the quarterback. Seriously. If you took Dak Prescott away, it would be so over. I would just call it a day. I might not even come to work. Yeah, come on, Cooper Rush, what chance do I have? But with Tony Pollard, I got a chance. With that offensive line that you rave about, I got a chance.
The only chance you got of winning with Tony Pollard if they brought the 8 back. And he ain't coming back because he older than me, and his body's beat up worse than mine.
I got
That's
4.
not good.
Maybe he's only half.
He
of
half. He half of 8. So you
But
already
you know
know.
what?
So he half the player.
But if you give me half of a Hall of Famer, I'll take half.
No. What Tony Romo.
Yeah.
So what Tony Romo won for you? Had that same
Nothing.
offensive line.
Nothing.
Had an 1,848-yard rush in DeMarco Murray.
Yeah.
And what did it get you?
You got 10 days, Skip.
And he had one more number than Troy did.
But he
right?
wasn't Troy.
9 to 8.
He wasn't Troy.
Yeah.
He
Get
wasn't
this
Troy.
deal done. Zeke may not take any hometown deals. You know who's done that?
I'm
Tom
yawning.
Brady.
Oh,
You're yawning now. He is listed as the most marketable player in the NFL, but should Patrick Mahomes be right on his tail?
Stop hating.
Really?
Brady won that one. Don't forget, you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports Channel on SiriusXM. We'll be right back with more.
Hey guys, Jenny Taft here. September is National Life Insurance Awareness Month. Most people aren't aware of that. In fact, most people aren't aware they need life insurance at all. That's why 40% of Americans don't have it. But getting life insurance doesn't need to be difficult or expensive. Right now, prices are the lowest they've been in 20 years, and Policy Genius has made it easier than ever to get covered. Policy Genius is the easy way to shop for life insurance online. In minutes, you can compare quotes from top insurers to find your best price. Once you apply, the Policy Genius team will handle all the paperwork and red tape. If you need life insurance but you just haven't gotten around to it, National Life Insurance Awareness Month is as good a time as any to get started. Go to policygenius.com, get quotes, and apply in minutes. You can do the whole thing on your phone right now, but not when you're driving. Policy Genius, the easy way to compare and buy life insurance.
Shannon, you're going to like this one. Tom Brady just can't stop winning. According to a survey by the Sports Business Journal, Brady is the most marketable NFL player. The survey asked 40 sports business execs, marketing analysts, and media members to give their list of the most marketable players. Brady barely beat out reigning MVP Patrick Mahomes, who finished in second by just 2 points. So, Skip, surprised that Brady beat up Mahomes?
Shannon Sharpe is not going to like this one. I was surprised and I was offended that Tom Brady did not crush Patrick Mahomes in marketability.
What?
I was stunned that Tom Brady barely edged out Patrick Mahomes 137 to 135 points in their marketability.
Yes.
Skin of his
survey.
teeth.
Skin of his teeth is right. I don't know what skin of his teeth means, but I get it.
Barely.
I always know what it means, but I don't know where it came from.
I don't either.
Somebody could explain that one too, because your teeth have no skin that I know. I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I need to know that.
Yeah,
Okay, so
idea.
let me get this straight. Tom Brady has played in 9 Super Bowls, and he's won 6 of them with 6 game-winning fourth-quarter drives. And last year, Tom Brady and the Patriots beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, not once, but twice. And in the AFC Championship game, Tom Brady pulled off, right before Patrick Mahomes' eyes and the world's eyes, the near impossible. I thought it was impossible. Tom Brady converted in overtime 3 straight 3rd and 10s. This can't be done. Could we see these in order, please?
Oh, my
Just
goodness,
3
there you
straight.
go.
Just think about this. He goes to Edelman for the first one. This is impossible. Then he goes to Edelman again for the second one. This can't happen. You can't. No quarterback can pull this off. Look the pinpoint accuracy. And then he goes to Gronk for another one on what is about to become the game-winning drive, which keeps, as you keep saying, Patrick Mahomes on the sideline, and he doesn't even have a chance to get back into the game. So now let's go from that throw. Let's go to social media impact, which is supposed to factor heavily in marketability.
Right.
So on Instagram, you love Instagram, right? Okay. Tom Brady has 6.4 million followers on Instagram. Patrick Mahomes has a pretty paltry 1.4 million. So 6.4 to 1.4. And shouldn't that factor more heavily into 137 to 135 in the final outcome? And allow me to point out what Saquon said that Tom Brady told him back in May at the Met Gala. This was yesterday. Saquon said that Brady told him, it's great, to do this for just one season, but can you do it for 5? Can you do it for 10? And Saquon said, I was ready to run through a wall for Tom Brady because it does put it in perspective.
Saquon should say, yeah, Tom, I could if they didn't hit me like they don't hit you, but go carry on.
Okay, there we go. So Tom Brady has done this for 19 years, and he's gone to 9 Super Bowls. And Patrick Mahomes has started 1 year, and he had one sensational year.
Yeah.
It was 50 touchdowns and MVP, and I give you that. Can you do it for 2? Or even, could you do it for 3?
I don't know if he'll do that again.
I don't know. Can you, with your division spending the whole offseason trying to figure out how to thwart you, how to slow you down, or even how to stop you, can you do it again? And I watched one of the preseason games, and Patrick Mahomes just stunk it up because now there are what Shannon Sharpe, the Hall of Famer, calls expectations. And they are mounting heavily on both Patrick Mahomes and Baker Mayfield, who also just had, in his third preseason game, Baker looked horrible.
Yep.
So it's a new day and a new quality of life for both these quarterbacks because all of a sudden everybody's looking to them to do what they did last year.
Correct.
So now I'm wondering, can Patrick Mahomes live up to this? And I'm not sure about that, but his marketability is being over-marketabilityed while Brady's is being under-marketed because what has he ever done wrong except some people thought that he illegally deflated footballs.
Correct.
I did not. Right. I argued strongly he had no knowledge of anybody underinflating his footballs. And he went to court and he beat it in the first round, and then he finally just ran out of time up against the season when he lost in the appeals court and was thinking about going to the Supreme Court with it. So again, that's the only blemish on his record. And Patrick Mahomes seems like a really good kid, doesn't say a whole lot, not a big force on social media, and he's vaulted off that all the way to second in marketability in the league. It's just wrong, and it's
Skip,
also...
Skip, your guy won. What difference does it make if he wins by
it should be a landslide.
Skip.
Tom Brady has become a force on social media for NFL players, not in the big picture, but for NFL. He's funny. You think he's a little lame and cliched and nerdy, but whatever.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's funny.
But it's funny. And he's very likable, and he never says anything bad about anybody.
He never says anything.
Okay, well, that's the point. Neither does Patrick Mahomes.
Skip, look, I can't believe you because he didn't win 90 by 90 votes or 100 votes. You're like, oh, I can't believe this. Skip, he won. I'm not surprised that he won. He's 6'4". He has blue eyes, a great smile. He married a supermodel. You see a lot of pictures of him and his family on social media, and they're on vacation. He's a 6th round draft pick. We love underdog stories. Tom Brady's an underdog, a 6th round draft pick, goes to 9 Super Bowls, wins 6. He's a 4-time MVP. How? What is there not to like? You have to understand the marketability, Skip, in the pitching. This guy's going to walk out there, they look at him like, oh, my God. He's like a model. Oh, Tom Terrific. Even though he didn't get that patent. Tom Seaver is Tom Terrific.
He wanted the patent so people couldn't call him Tom Terrific.
They can't. They can call him whatever they want to. But Tom Seaver owns that copyright.
Okay.
He took that L, so he has 9 Super Bowl appearances and 1 patent L.
All right. I give you that.
Skip. What is there not to like if you just look at the guy aesthetically? Now, I can see if the guy had 4 teeth, and but he's married to a supermodel. And people are like, oh, he's married to a supermodel. It's something. He seems likable. He's very measured in his thoughts and his words. He never speaks out of turn. He's always speaking positive. We like that. And contrary to what people say, if you look at the guys that are on this list, people like brashness. People say, I don't like that. Don't tell me what you're going to do. Just do it. No, but you like that. You heard what he said? And he did it. Goes back to Broadway Joe, Skip. You said, oh, I guarantee you we're going to win this game. And everybody fell in love with him since. And Joe's been living off that since then.
He has.
Skip, I'm not surprised. I'm a little surprised that Patrick Mahomes is this high because, like you said, we only have the 1-year data on him. We don't know a whole lot about him. And his voice is a little, he doesn't have that powering voice, that cadence, that tone, the pitch. And people were like, wow, the voice kind of sounds like a little cartoonish. So I'm surprised I'm surprised he finished that high. But Tom Brady, the most.
Guys, so you're actually with me on this
Kinda
because
are.
you know, because if you're surprised he finished that high, then the gap between 1 and 2 should have been a lot.
Skip, I'm surprised he's second. I'm not surprised Tom Brady won. I'm surprised that he's second.
Okay.
I thought another guy that would probably be higher than what he was J.J. Watt. Big Midwestern guy. Great humanitarian considering what he's done. Never said anything. 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's All-American, Skip. He's like wholesome apple pie. I think he's engaged to a former soccer player.
She's
current?
Yeah,
Okay.
she plays.
So, Skip, I'm thinking, okay, that's the right. Because, Skip, look at him. I mean, it look like he dressed up in his suede jacket. He looks like the Marlboro Man. And now, even though they don't have the cigarette commercials anymore, but you and I know what the Marlboro Man is. That's Tom Brady. I mean, Skip, look at him.
Gets younger by the day, doesn't he?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah?
He's going
I mean, look, he has Aston Martin, he has Tag Heuer, he has Under Armour.
He just goes for the elite.
Yeah,
right?
Aston Martin is good as it gets.
He relates to everyone, though. 42. The fact that he does, kind of relate to the younger audience and the older generation is pretty impressive.
Here's the thing, Skip. Even if you don't watch football regularly during the regular season, you're probably going to sit down or someone's going to have him on during the Super Bowl. And 4 of the 5 years, guess what? He's been in it. And so now you might not have known anything about football, but you're going to go to a party I don't even really like, but such and such is having a Super Bowl party. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to watch the game. And you see that guy. Good. Ooh, and first they, he's handsome. Oh, so that's Tom Brady. I'll let him sell me anything. Shampoo, cars, clothes, shoes, whatever. Ooh.
You sound like you're becoming a big Brady fan.
Oh, he's married to her. Oh, he got a supermodel for a wife. Skip, we don't normally see this. Entertainers, actors, singers, musicians, they normally get the supermodels. Adam Levine, Leonardo DiCaprio, those are the guys that gets the supermodels, not the football players because, Skip, we got helmets on, they can't see us. Entertainers, you see them, a lot of times, the rockers, they have their shirts off, whatever they're doing. Movie stars, DiCaprio, all those guys, you see them close up, you see the close up. Me, I got a helmet on. I got on shoulder pads. You don't really know.
Not anymore.
But that guy, you look at those eyes, they're like, oh, he come in there with his Tom Ford, he's Tom Ford down. He's statuesque, 6'4", blue eyes, nice haircut, suited and booted. Everything is fitting to a T.
So why didn't he win 200 to 100?
Skip, he won.
Well, come on. You're making my case.
Skip,
I like it.
Skip,
Keep going.
Skip, it's like
What's your conclusion?
Skip, it's like you said, okay, they won 6 Super Bowls, but why didn't they win 50 to 10? They won. Why can't you just accept the victory?
He pulled all 6 games out of the fire. You believe in that? It made it even a greater story that he didn't go Joe Montana on somebody, right?
Well, he did. Well, Joe pulled it out against Cincinnati
I know,
twice.
but there were some routes of John Elway.
And Marino.
Yeah.
But look, but you're not surprised that he won. You're just surprised that how close the margin of victory was. I'm
slightly surprised he won because of what is inexplicable to me, what I experience on this show nearly every day, Brady hate. And it may factor into Brady burnouts because people are just sick and tired of he's back in the Super Bowl again.
Skip, I don't think they dislike like Tom. They might be tired of seeing the Patriots in the Super Bowl, but I don't really know what there is not to like about him. I mean, what is there not to like?
I don't know. You've spewed all kinds of hate on this show. You don't like his IG posts. You don't like his post-game comments. You think he's...
You don't like that he doesn't really take a strong political stance.
No.
Yeah.
Skip, my thing is like...
Well, at one point, a lot of people leaped to the conclusion he was taking a strong...
He was. He tried to do it on the slide.
He had a Make America Great hat.
Before it was in vogue.
Okay.
So he had it placed properly.
Yep.
Because normally, he could have easily turned it around and nobody would have known. It just looked like a red hat. But he placed it properly. But that's neither here nor there. His political views.
But his daddy, as in Robert Kraft, is one of the closest friends of Donald Trump, okay? And never makes any bones about it. Like he's out front about it.
But Skip, you just said the guy's gone to 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
What? I mean, everybody likes a winner, right? I mean, we might get...
I don't know about that. I think at some point, people start not to like a winner because he's winning too much.
But I can't believe you're not upset that he won. You're upset that the margin of victory wasn't larger.
I just want to see Patrick Mahomes do it again. I want to see him break through and win a Super Bowl. And I get stuck.
Even if he does that, Skip, he's still probably not going to be more marketable than Tom because Tom is, Skip, we've seen Tom Brady for 20 years. We've only got a 2-year, about to be a 3-season sample size of Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
We have a 20-year, we have 2 decades of watching this guy.
What is most marketable about Patrick Mahomes so far is his on-field swag.
Yes.
Because he no-looks it. He sidearm, he almost underarms it.
Right.
He throws it left-handed.
Yeah.
He does it all. So
Right.
he's doing things, quote-unquote, we've never seen
Right.
before. And I think a lot of kids are willing to buy into that.
Yes.
Right?
And plus, Tom Brady, what? He's in the movie. He was in a movie, Ted. He has very.
He's good in Ted.
He has very.
He was great.
He has very.
What can he do?
He has some friends in very high places. So, Skip, I'm not surprised at Tom Brady. I mean, what is there? I mean, marketability. I mean, when you look at a guy, because it needs to be pleasing to the eye.
One last time, I'm going to bring up the quote in The Athletic from a former head coach on Patrick Mahomes, just to keep this in perspective. The quote is, you play for Andy Reid and you're going to have numbers to the point where, what's his name, Donovan McNabb, thinks he's a Hall of Famer. True, some truth to that. And I love Donovan McNabb, but he does think he's a Hall of Famer, and we could debate that all day long. He's borderline, he's close.
Okay.
But a lot of it came because he was in an incredibly quarterback-friendly offense, and now Andy Reid has put Patrick Mahomes, who's his new toy, because he's the one who chose to trade up to get him, and he's going to show you, I got the MVP, and I'm going to make him do things, let him do things that you've never seen before. So, again, the anonymous head coach goes on to say, what Mahomes did was still amazing. I just don't know if you can continue to play the way he plays and not have the big mistakes. Well, I don't either. I keep saying that, so I want to see year 2. Can you clean it up a little bit more? Can you get through Tom Brady and the Patriots to the Super Bowl? Maybe it'll be in Kansas City again.
But even if that's the case, Skip, I still don't believe he'll surpass Tom Brady. Tom Brady is still number 1 in the NFL merchandise sales. So, and plus, Skip, look at that. You seen the guy dressed up.
Boy, you're just enamored.
I've
never heard anything like it.
I'm kind of liking this.
Because I understand how marketability works, Skip Bayless, and so do you. You seen him at the Met Gala. You seen him go to the Kentucky Derby. So when people look at that, understand when you market someone, okay, who are we marketing to?
Yeah, the audience. For sure.
Ta-da! And the audience that they're marketing to with him.
There's a big sample size.
So,
Jenny Taft.
I am definitely
the Jenny Taft type. That would
So, after Tom Brady wins his 7th Super Bowl with his 7th fourth-quarter game-winning drive this year, this time next year, I want him to lead this by 50 points. And then I'll say, okay, that's fair. That's equitable.
You ought to be ashamed.
Never good enough for this guy.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself,
Never good
Skip.
enough
The
for
man
this guy.
won, but he only won by a yard. You wanted to win by 100 yards.
Well, he deserves to win by 100. No mercy. He's earned it.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I'd be curious about the marketability of these next 2 former NBA stars. I'm kind of curious how that would play out 15 years later. The Kobe-Shaq relationship is once again in the news after Kobe called out Shaq's work ethic by saying that he would have had 12 rings if the big man could stay in shape. Shaq quickly fired back, tweeting that Kobe would have had his 12 rings if he would have passed the ball more. And the exchange started getting a little bit of buzz. Kobe made sure on Twitter that everyone knew that there was no bad blood between the 2 former Lakers. Kobe tweeted, "There is no beef with Shaq. I know most media want to see it, but it ain't gonna happen. Ain't nothing but love there, and we too old to beef anyway." Hashtag #3Pete. Shaq then responded to Kobe's tweet with a shot at the Lakers' new big man, Dwight Howard. "It's all good, bro. When I saw the interview, I thought you were talking about Dwight." Is that how you spell his name? LOL. So
LOL.
It's Dwite. He's such a jokester. Fortunately for the Lakers, Dwight Howard took the high road on social media, saying that he did not see Shaq's tweet, that he is focused on the upcoming season. So, Shannon, what do you make of all this? A lot there.
Kobe is right, and so is Shaq. But I got what Kobe was trying to say. And I think Shaq took it somewhat as a slight because he mentioned, you don't get a statue in front of a building if you don't work hard. And I don't think anybody says Shaq didn't work hard, but Shaq could have worked harder. Shaq could have ate better and had a longer career and even been more productive than he actually was.
Yep.
A guy of Shaq's talent doesn't need to go from Orlando to LA to Miami to Phoenix to Boston to Cleveland. Skip,
fair.
that's not how it's supposed to be with a guy like that. Shaq should have never been a journeyman. Shaq's too good to be a journeyman.
Okay.
Shaq worked hard.
Yep.
But if Shaq had to work, and the question was posed, if Shaq had had your work ethic, Kobe, Kobe said he would have been the greatest. That's not to imply that, yeah, some of these guys work hard, but everybody doesn't work hard to the same degree. Because sometimes people mistake habit for hard work. And my grandpa used to always tell me and my brother that. He said, son, don't ever mistake habit for hard work. Because some people do that, oh, I went to the gym, or I got up early. Okay, you got up early, what did you do? I mean, if you just get up early and don't do nothing, what have you done? Well, if you just go to the gym every day just because it's habit, that's what you do at 9:30, but you ain't getting anything accomplished. Is that habit or that's hard work?
Good.
You know what? Your grandfather should have written a book.
So many.
He was a combination of like Confucius and Gandhi and Ben Franklin.
Yeah, and I was
love
like, and when he was telling me all this thing, I'm looking around like, why are we living better than what we are? You got all this knowledge, and we living in 1,000 square foot cinder block, but that's neither here nor there, Skip. But I think what Shaq is also saying, Shaq knows the reason why he got up out of L.A. is that Kobe went to Dr. Buss and says it's either him or me. Shaq made it easy for Dr. Buss to choose Kobe because I can assure you, Skip Bayless, if Kobe had gone to Dr. Buss and Shaq was the Shaq in 2000 and 2001, Dr. Buss would have said, Kobe, I'm sorry, but you got to go. Because you're not getting rid of 30, 14, and 2.6, Skip. You're not, at that time, the big man was still dominant.
Yep.
Shaq and Tim Duncan were the premier players in all of basketball. And Kobe and Shaq is like, hold on, bro. You started wanting to be, like I said, you started wanting to be that guy.
He did.
So you stopped passing and you started, doing what you did. Got no problem with that. But don't make it seem like I'm the only reason that we didn't win. Skip, I still think there's a little undercurrent there. I think both guys are trying to take the high road because, like I said, they're older now. Shaq's in his 40s, Kobe's approaching 40. And I think there's still an undercurrent there. But I do wish this. I wish Shaq would leave Dwight Howard alone.
Yeah.
Shaq, you were the best player in Orlando Magic history. He went to L.A. and you're a better player in L.A. than he was. You are a better overall player. Why you bring this man into this, Skip? Why he bring Dwight? Dwight minded his own business. And Shaq knows good and well, nobody's ever spelled Dwight like that.
He knows good.
Oh, he knows.
It was like the ultimate jab and put
Can't
down.
you just picture him laughing
No, he
as
was
he's
laughing.
tweeting
Yes,
it? Like,
yes,
oh, I got him.
yes.
I got him again.
Yeah.
And you could see he got him in Dwight's post because Dwight looked pretty meek and sort of.
Well, I think he was doing IG Live or something, and he was talking, did you see what Shaq said? And he's like, no, I really didn't see what Shaq says. But it's about me, it's not about Shaq, and I'm just worried about what can I do to help the Lakers this time around. So he took the high road. I just wish Shaq would do that too.
I'll get to Dwight in just a second, but I got to get back to Shaq. So this is what I believe, to your point about there's still an undercurrent. I think that undercurrent is high voltage. It's under, but it's high voltage. And I believe that Shaq was stung by Kobe's comments. And I believe it hurt him to the point that what he did there were comments on IG, that both of his comments were fueled by anger, that they felt that they had some undercurrent of anger to them. And I'm good with that because this is just me. As much as yesterday we both agreed with what Kobe said, after I stepped back from it and slept on it, it was a low blow. It was out of bounds. It was unnecessary. It's one of those, just let it go and let it lay.
Right. Especially with giving you guys his history.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you were always buddy-buddy.
No.
There was a lot of butting of the heads.
Yeah.
And even though you've tried to make amends, I mean, I think Kobe showed up for Shaq's statue unveiling.
He did.
Shaq was there
He
for
was
the
there for
last
the-
game.
he was.
His last game when
Sure
when
was.
Kobe went for 60.
Yeah.
He was there. And they've tried to make a peace, but sometimes it's trying to heal. This wound is trying to heal, but sometimes you pick a little piece of the scab and you start to expose it.
And even though Kobe tried to undercut it by saying, hey, I've told Shaq this to his face. We've sat and I've told him.
And Shaq
this.
even said it.
Yeah, okay. That's all well and good, but telling him to his face is one thing.
Yeah, but putting it
saying
out there.
publicly is quite another.
Right.
So what was the circumstance and venue? Kobe was a paid speaker at an insurance company convention.
Right.
George W. Bush was also a keynote speaker. So I'm going to say he got a bunch of, I have no idea what he
Couple
get.
$100,000.
Oh, please. How about $1 million?
I don't know if he.
This is big.
Normally, I think right now, President Clinton and President Obama command that right
Okay,
now.
well, I think Kobe Bryant could command that.
Yeah.
And it's Brady does one out here in Santa Monica most years with Jim Gray, you know, where he gets a Q&A.
Well,
with
that's
Jim
for
Gray.
people that don't want to hear anything being said.
All right,
So that's why they're going to go.
Well, that's
straight for
fine. So
I'll sign right up.
So Kobe was being interviewed in front of the crowd. And obviously, because he's being well compensated,
Right.
he feels like, I got to give
gotta
you
give a little
something,
something,
right?
yeah.
And so he reaches for, we would have won 12 if he'd stayed in shape. Well, between the lines, he's saying if he hadn't gotten fat.
Right.
And it's a pretty harsh thing to say publicly this many years after the fact.
I'll give you an example, Skip. Look, we believe that Carmelo worked out. I mean, you don't go to 10, 11 All-Star games and be an All-NBA player without, working hard. But do we believe Carmelo worked as hard as LeBron?
No, absolutely not.
And that's basically
And the proof was in the pudding, as in the pudding he might have eaten, but
Right.
you could just see it.
Right.
You could just look at the two bodies and say, okay.
And I believe that's what Kobe was trying to say. Yes, and because they posed the question, if Shaq had your dedication,
Yep.
if he had worked as hard as you did,
That's true.
and Skip, that's what the interviewer asked, and Kobe's like, he'd have been the greatest. We'd have 12 rings. But Shaq took it like, oh, you said I didn't work hard? Well, how did I get a statue?
Yeah.
How do I have 4
Which
rings?
is
How do
a
I have
fair touche.
Right.
It is. Yeah, he did get a
Right.
statue.
Yeah.
Yeah. And would they have had 12 rings if Kobe
No.
had passed the ball more? No.
No.
Would they have beaten the Pistons? Maybe.
Yeah.
Just maybe, because that was the peak of the clash between
You and I
Shaq
just
Kobe.
believe with that tandem, that might be the greatest. I mean, you can make, maybe you like Magic and Kareem.
Maybe.
But they're the 1, 2, they're not falling out of the top 3. I think everybody just believed they should have had more titles than the 3 that they won. I think that's, from 96 to 04, they were together? So I just believe people believe that in that, 10-year span, a little 8, 9 years,
sure.
they should have had more than 3.
Totally
I think that's
agree.
what people are getting at. Now, I don't know if they're going to get 12, Skip, but they should have had more than 3. And I think that's what Kobe's trying to get at. Yeah, we won. We had great three-peat. One of the few teams that can say we three-peated.
Yep.
But
Okay, so then Shaq tries to defuse any potential ongoing beef with Kobe by turning back into the jokester that you talked about, the fun-loving sort of cartoon character Shaq.
Right.
And he takes a little shot at Dwight, kind of like the biggest, easiest target in Shaq's universe,
yeah,
right?
he's definitely low-hanging fruit.
Okay, and he is. I hate to describe anybody as low-hanging fruit, but again, I like Dwight, but he never.
You don't have to reach to get an insult.
You
Hard to
just
be
don't.
compared, yeah.
So now we see him on whatever you said it was, IG Live.
I think it's IG Live.
And to me, it just comes off as like kind of mopey and lifeless. Like he's not defending himself. There's no, because he's trying to sell us that he is now reinvigorated.
He is.
Yeah.
A rebirth.
I didn't see any
No.
reborn. Did you?
Rebirth, Skip.
I didn't feel any new energy from him. Like, I'm here and I'm gonna prove you wrong, Shaq. There was nothing. It was just kind of
I
like
believe he's going
weak.
through a rebirth.
Really?
They say in order for a man or a person to go through a rebirth, he must go through a reconstruction as the most dilapidated building. The proof will be in the pudding. My thing was, how did Shaq and Kobe, how did Shaq leap to Dwight? Where did Dwight Howard come from?
He was just trying to go back into lovable Shaq, and that's a way for him to be lovable and funny, is to poke fun at Dwight.
It all comes from the Superman. That's what this is all about.
That's
Skip.
true. I'll give you that.
That's what it's all about.
Like, Shaq is Superman.
Right. Orlando, Shaq was
yeah,
Superman.
yeah.
He still has the big S and a lot of the imp in his vehicles.
Yeah.
And the heck of the Dwight, like, big man, he's Superman. Shaq like, nah, we already had Superman in Orlando way before you got here.
Well, all I got to say is 2 Lakers have a whole lot to prove this coming season. One is your guy and one is Dwight.
Have my guy ever let you down?
Yeah.
The proof is in the pudding. He gonna prove it.
You mean the Wash King?
Yeah, okay.
We'll talk about the Wash King.
He's up to something.
Okay.
All right, we got to move on to talk about Dak Prescott.
Yes,
So
it's
he may
been
not
too
have
long.
made-
We haven't talked about him the whole show.
You mentioned him briefly at the beginning, but I want to make sure you had your time. So he may not have made the most recent top 100 players list, but he did make a different list.
Yes.
We'll see what Steve thinks about this one next.
Football season is coming up quick, and DraftKings, the leader in one-day fantasy football, is celebrating with huge Week 1 contests. It all starts when Chicago and Green Bay kick off the season with a Thursday night single-game showdown contest and $2.5 million in total prizes up for grabs. New users who sign up today on DraftKings using code UNDISPUTED will receive a free shot at the $1 million top prize. Nothing adds to the excitement of watching the game quite like having a shot at $1 million payday. Draft your single game showdown lineup and feel the sweat like never before. It's simple. Just draft 6 players from the season opener. Stay under the salary cap, see how your team stacks up against the competition. But you don't have to wait till week 1 to get in on the action. Right now, all users can get a deposit bonus up to $500. Download the DraftKings app now to get in on the action. For a limited time, both new and existing users can get a deposit bonus up to $500. And as an extra special Week 1 bonus, new users can put in our code UNDISPUTED to receive a free shot at $1 million with your first deposit. Don't forget, that's code UNDISPUTED for your free shot at $1 million. Only at DraftKings. Make it rain. Minimum $5 deposit required. Deposit bonus requires a 25 times playthrough. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
How about this, guys? Dak Prescott has finally made a list. After missing the cut on 2 separate top 100 player lists this offseason, Dak has been ranked as the NFL's 10th most marketable player. The survey was done by the Sports Business Journal and asked 40 sports business execs, marketing analysts, and media members to give their list of the most marketable players. Skip,
Jenny?
you got on a list. What is your reaction?
Finally. Will miracles never cease? My guy actually got a little accolade. Just he got a little something. They threw him a tiny little bone.
Accolade.
Yeah. Here's what I see going on here.
Okay.
Here's how I explain what just happened. Many who play in the National Football League, many who used to play in the National Football League and now comment on the league, and many who did not play but are media members are down on Dak. And I think they're down on Dak in part. I'm going to take some of the blame here because I have been so dug in on Dak that I've probably driven many of them over the edge against him. So I'm going to take some of the blame because, as you recall, I watched Dak Prescott play a preseason game. It was game 2 of 2016 here in Los Angeles at the Coliseum, and I said, voila. That kid can play. And obviously, he soon replaced the injured Tony Romo, and the rest is Dallas Cowboy history because he then led them to 2 NFC East crowns out of his 3 years. But something is going on outside the many people who played and who covered the sport who don't like Dak, because I believe this is showing you that he's far more popular outside the league among fans, Cowboy and non-Cowboy fans, because they see him as a much bigger star than you see him. In part, in just small part, because he is the Dallas Cowboy quarterback. But nobody makes this list who is average. Nobody on this list can't play or is a bust or is highly overrated, as somebody across the table from me constantly suggests on the show.
Well, the players that made the list, he's the worst.
Okay, well, okay, that's you. See, there you go again. Thank you for making my case.
Okay, Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can go to, I got it right here.
Yeah, the list is too long. But name the player on this list that he's better than.
He is among people that he belongs with because he is an emerging star in the league. Is he better than Baker Mayfield right now? Yes.
No.
Is he more decorated than Baker? Yes, he is. is Baker's risen wildly all the way up to number 4 on this list. The Baker Mayfield that the Hall of Famer across from me said was the 4th rated quarterback going into the draft. That's what you thought.
Yeah.
And I said, no, he should be the first overall
You had
pick.
him at 4?
And the rest. Yeah, he had him behind the other 3. Yeah,
Shannon, come
right.
on. But
Josh
he's changed.
Rosen,
He's
right?
changed.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't really know if it was that low, but I
think
didn't
you
think
did.
I didn't have him number 1.
You
That's for
definitely.
certain.
You had Darnold.
Yeah.
And you, I think you had Josh Rosen and
Maybe I
Josh
was a
Allen.
prisoner of the moment because
maybe you're a
Sam
prisoner.
Darnold threw the ball so well in the
Okay.
in the rain.
Fair enough.
In the rain. But again, he belongs on this list because of what he has achieved. 2 division championships. 3 times against Aaron Rodgers, he has outplayed Aaron Rodgers, and I think the public knows that better than you know that or accept that. And all he's done against the Eagles last year, the defending Super Bowl champs, he was sensational in 2 fourth quarters and an overtime in which he had a grand total of 331 yards passing and 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. And in the playoffs, he had the best QBR in all of pro football. And he outplayed a Russell Wilson, whom he barely beat out. Didn't Russell Russ's next spot. He's 11. And he beat Jared Goff for the second, or he outplayed Jared Goff for the second time in his career in their 2 meetings in a playoff game here at the Coliseum. So the public is more on my side on this issue, or he wouldn't be that marketable. They're not going to buy the products endorsed by average or bust or overrated.
Oh, really? You feel that way, Skip?
Well, I know that.
Skip, hey, in the words of my good friend LeBron James after he won his first title, it's about damn time. He made a list, Skip
I'm
Bayless.
glad LeBron said that then.
So, you see, there you go.
Because I agreed with that. It was about
Well,
damn
I'm
time.
agreeing with you right now, Skip Bayless. So let me get this straight. You tell me all the time, Jenny, I've heard for the last 3 years and as long as I can go back to watching Skip Bayless, the quarterback position is the most important position in all of pro sports. It's the most valuable position. He happens to be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, the most valuable, the most visible sports team in all the world. And the best he could get is 10th.
Best?
I could
That's like a shocking achievement.
I could put a possum and he'll get 14th.
He wouldn't.
He
know.
get
What are
14th.
you talking about?
So he's 4 spots better than a possum.
Possum?
Yes.
Oh.
Skip Bayless, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Let me ask you a question. Let's just say for the
You
sake
just
of...
said Antonio Brown is a possum because he was 14th on
I'll
this
just
list.
ask you a simple question, Skip Bayless. Let's just say for the sake of argument, Russell Wilson was quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Where would he be?
Well, he's already 11th. He's only 1 spot
He'd be in
behind.
the top 5. He'd be top 5.
You're saying because of the Cowboys,
Yes!
he should be up there regardless.
Automatic.
Higher than 10.
Automatic.
Why does Russell have this lofty of a position on this list? What is a huge factor is social media impact.
Yes.
And Russell is at the top of the
Yes.
list in the NFL in overall social
All
media
of it.
impact.
Which
In
I was
part,
surprised
maybe.
by.
I mean, but look at his wife.
Got
It
his wife.
ain't like he got nobody don't know who his wife is.
Okay, so maybe because of his wife, he would be top 5 if he were the Dallas Cowboys quarterback.
Stop.
Well, I'm just telling
All I'm saying is this. You already know when it comes to the Cowboys, everything gets overinflated. So the mere fact that he's only 10th playing the quarterback position, because if he is what you said he was, he should be top 5 at bare minimum. That's at the bare
It's
minimum.
interesting, these top 100 lists usually have 7 or 8 Cowboys ahead of Dak on the
That
top
should
100.
tell you. That should tell you right
Interesting.
there. But you
Or any other Cowboys on the
Zeke.
list?
Zeke is
Oh,
the
yeah.
freak.
He snuck in.
I'm surprised.
Oh,
Tied
God.
for 17. Wait,
now
guess
he
who
snuck
he's
in.
tied with? Carson Wentz.
Oh, walk into him.
17.
Yeah, they're...
Imagine,
again, maybe
imagine
he
if
should be
Carson Wentz, imagine if Walk It To Him was the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Name a player on this list.
I think
he
I'd
wants that.
sell my membership.
There you
I'd be
would.
out. I'd be out.
Okay, name a
I'd
player
have no
on this
chance on this show.
Name a player on this list that would not be higher if they played for the Dallas Cowboys. Name a player on the list.
I don't know that. That's hard
Khalil
to
Mack.
say.
So you saying Khalil Mack would be 20th if he played for the Cowboys?
Maybe.
Oh, just, you know.
Just depending on his overall impact, his social impact.
Skip Bayless. I'm talking about the Khalil Mack, the Mack truck, the Mack attack, the return of the Mack.
You see anybody on this list who you think is overrated as a player?
I see everybody on this list Dak Prescott is the 20th best player on this list. Of all the players on the list, you know that, Skip
Well,
Bayless.
according to you, he doesn't even belong within shouting distance of these other 19 players as a football player, right?
Like you told me, Skip Bayless, like, hey, they got to put somebody on the list. They had to get 20 players. But he's the quarterback of the Cowboys, worth what they worth, $5 billion? Worth $5 billion. They're more recognizable than Real Madrid, Manchester United, FC Barcelona, Garmin, all the Yankees. The Yankees been playing baseball since 1900. And the Cowboys, the pinstripe, they made the pinstripe famous. And the Cowboys are more well-known than them. And your guy plays the most valuable position in all the sports. More valuable than a Dodgers pitcher. More valuable than a striker from Man U. Your guy plays that position.
You know what?
And he's 10.
He plays it really well, too. You think Tony Romo would have been 10th?
Oh, yeah, Tony Romo would have been top 5.
Now he would because he's a broadcaster.
No, Tony Romo was top 5. Tony Romo was top 5.
He wasn't nearly this popular.
Yeah, oh, yes, he was.
Playing?
Skip, you out of you.
Are you kidding?
I
I lived and died with him.
Let me tell you,
and mostly
Skip,
died.
Skip, let me tell you,
I did.
Let me tell you how I know you were that popular.
Yeah.
Because Jerry Jones tore his contract up and gave him $55 million guarantee and told you he was box office. Now, when have he ever told you Dak Prescott is box office? He ain't box office.
Yeah, but guess what?
He candy corn.
Jerry Jones cut bait with Tony Romo because he saw a winner in Dak Prescott.
The man retired.
He saw a leader. He saw a new face of franchise he could actually trust in big game situations. He saw a big game playmaker. That's what this kid is.
Put it like this here, Skip Bayless. If all these guys on here was Halloween candy, Dak Prescott is candy corn. Ain't nobody want no candy corn.
Everybody wants candy corn.
He ain't Butterfingers.
It's like the most popular.
M&Ms.
Wait a second.
No, it is the most
candy
popular.
corn is the most popular.
It's the yuckiest, too.
It is. Well, that's according to Shannon
It's the
Sharpe.
yuckiest.
Yeah, beauty is in the eye or the mouth of the beholder.
They put candy corn in their pocket with it's so bad, it ain't got no packaging.
Oh, I know.
It ain't got no packaging. You pour it in your pocket. It got lint all on it, dust and dirt all on it.
You know what? I used to love candy corn, so
Ain't
I
nobody like no
appreciate
candy
that
corn.
analogy.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
did.
picture
You
a
from the
day
country.
that you
I
ate sugar.
did.
You
I
for the
did.
country.
Oh, I used to eat Reese's Pieces and all
Yeah. All these guys.
No,
all the
no,
Skip.
no.
You know good where everybody on this list. Dak is the least of the players that made this list. And you know that. And the only reason he made the list, Skip, because he's the Cowboys quarterback.
Shannon.
You know it.
Over the last 3 years, he has led this league in fourth quarter game-winning drives. That's all you need to know. He is
led the
a
league
clutch performer, and you won't accept it. It's why within the confines of the players and the media, he is the most underrated, underappreciated, underrespected quarterback
Overhyped
in
by
the
you.
league. Not overhyped,
Yeah.
because he just keeps
I don't know,
backing
Skip.
me up.
You know what, Skip? I don't know. I don't know. You might have hyped them more than Tebow.
All he does is, can I use my old Tebow?
No.
All he does is win.
No.
This guy really
No.
wins. This
No.
guy's won.
No.
Tebow won one division. This guy's already won 2 in 3 years. Are you kidding me?
But he backed the last one. Dak backed into the division.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's talk about
But you know
Dak's
what? You ought to be ashamed of
guy, Zeke. Could Zeke miss part of the regular season? Eric Dickerson, no stranger
No,
to
he's
holdouts.
not.
He joins us with his take next.
No mercy.
College football is back this weekend, beginning with the all-new Big Noon Kickoff pregame show. Then it's right into the action as FAU visits fifth-ranked Ohio State Saturday, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. And former Ohio State Buckeye Ezekiel Elliott continues his holdout. Jerry Jones squashed any rumors that Zeke was recently offered any new deals yesterday during an interview with a local Dallas radio station. Jerry said there is nothing new to report with the negotiations. Jones also said that the team was prepared to play without certain players due to injury, suspension, or even a holdout. When asked if the Cowboys would need to lighten Zeke's load for Week 1, Jerry had this to say.
Listen, we've got a marathon here, and we want Zeke when we get to the playoffs. We want Zeke when we're in the dog days of this season. And as you well know, you have to plan your personnel and you have to manage a player the caliber of Zeke. You have to, as to what parts of the game you use him, how much rest you use him. And so fresh Zeke, as we got on into the end of the season, would be great.
We're now joined by FS1 NFL analyst Eric Dickerson. Eric, if I have this right, you held out twice during your playing days.
I held out once, and the other was a disagreement.
Disagreement.
And it wasn't over money. This wasn't over money.
Okay.
There wasn't over money, but disagreement.
Okay.
But it was effectively, you didn't play.
I didn't play. I didn't play.
Right.
Yeah.
1 + 1 kind of. Okay, so in your opinion, who has the advantage here? Is it Jerry or is it Zeke at this point?
Well, I think it's Zeke. You know, Zeke is a young player still. They need Zeke to win. Look, the Cowboys open up with the Giants. Now, you might say the Giants are not a good football team, but that's a division game. That's going to be a tough game. And they don't like each other. Then they got the Redskins, another division game. So you want to?
They really don't like it.
I said they really don't. You're right. They really don't like it. So now you're talking about the Cowboys. Could they be 1-1? Could they be 2-0 or 0-2? You just never know. They have a tough schedule. They have to play the Patriots. They have to play the Rams. I think in week 4 they play the New Orleans Saints. So this is not an easy schedule. I think that Jerry looks at this like this. He has 3 guys he has to pay. He has to pay Dak, he has to pay Amari, and he has to pay Zeke. He doesn't have to pay Zeke, but I think he will pay Zeke. He has to pay Zeke. So if he didn't have that setup, if he had just 2 guys or 1 guy to pay, I think it'd be an easy deal. But I do believe that Zeke has the upper hand in this because Jerry wants to win a Super Bowl. I mean, Jerry's 76 years old. I mean, if the Cowboys win a Super Bowl, their brand is already here. They haven't won a Super Bowl in 23 years. Now, if they win a Super Bowl, it's going to go in the 2019. They're going to be like, oh, the Cowboys, we're back. So,
yeah, you're right.
you know, they
say that every year. You know they have one.
They won them, but still.
Wait, they've been back for 3 years.
Yeah, but they've been in the playoffs. But they really I think Zeke has the upper hand, in my opinion.
Shannon thinks he has such an upper hand that he's going to hold out like half a year.
No.
Hasn't it gone up to 8 games? It was 4 when we started the show.
I said the first month of the season.
Okay.
The thing is that when you look at it, Jerry, at first he said he just didn't report. He refused to use the word like ED was skirting around like it was a disagreement. It really wasn't a holdout. Jerry was like, this is not a holdout. He just hadn't reported yet. And then he's like, this is too good for the player and it's too good for the Cowboys. Let me repeat that. Jerry said that, didn't scare you? Remember? He said, you had him copy, they had him play that again. Jerry said it's too good for the player and it's too good for the Cowboys.
Yep, he said that on August the 4th.
Yeah.
Yep.
So right now, Zeke is saying, right now, Jerry, it's good for you. It ain't good for me. Now, Giants at Washington, at Miami. Where it gets real tricky, Skip, is starting September 29th. At New Orleans, then Green Bay, at the Jets, home to the Eagles.
Well, I mean, there's one breather in there.
No. The breather, okay. So, look, this is how this thing gonna work. Tell me if you agree with this. The schedule is gonna dictate whether or not Zeke gets his money or Zeke come back in there. Because they're 1-3, Zeke can get his money. If they 3-1, they 4-0, Zeke ain't getting no money. It's simple as that, Skip. It's as simple as
Think
that.
he's willing to gamble on that?
I'm a gambler. I'm a gambling man, Skip. I'm already at the
You
crap
are,
table.
but is he?
Yeah.
No.
When you sit down at the crap table, hey, I've already done lost everything. I might as well get this last
thing in.
Hey, let it ride. 7 hours. Oh, my goodness.
It's your only hope to derail my team is that he holds out. It's your only hope. He is not going to hold out. Jerry still has the psychological advantage in this holdout, in part because Jerry has far more experience at this than Zeke has because Zeke has never done this before. And I know he's got smart people in his ear, but it still comes down to the psyche of that running back. It still comes down to what made Eric Dickerson tick during his pretty short holdouts. They didn't last this long, right?
I missed the game. It's in the 80s. I missed the
85?
game. Yeah, I missed the game. I missed the game.
I think you missed 2.
2 games. Yeah, I missed 2 games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what starts happening in the back of your head? It's hard, man, because you're away from your guys and you're by yourself and your agent's saying, you're okay, and you keep thinking, yeah, but I want to be there.
You know what's hard to Skip Bayless? I see guys that I'm better than and they making double my money. Okay. And that's what happened with ED. ED was looking like,
triple my money.
I went 1,800, 2,100. And that dude making 10 times what, oh no, I wish I might come to camp. Pay me.
So why didn't you miss 3 games or 4
Because they gave me some,
or
they
8?
gave a little money.
They gave me a little bit of money. They gave me a little bit of money. They did a little bit of money.
Okay.
Look.
Jerry's about to give Zeke a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
It's not going to be wildly more than Todd Gurley got, but it'll be a little bit more in some category where it will make Zeke feel proud enough that he can strut his stuff back into the locker room with his chest out and his head held high. I got my money. He'll give him a little more average annual, he'll give him a little more guaranteed, or he'll give him a little more upfront bonus. One of those where he can say, I reset the market in that category. I do not think the total package will be wildly more than Todd Gurley got.
I agree with that. Let me ask both of you a question. If Zeke had never gotten any kind of trouble, if he would just been squeaky clean, do you think he would have paid him already?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he'd have been more apt to do absolutely.
I mean, Jerry continues to say that that has absolutely nothing to do, but it has something to do.
History.
Yeah.
History. Yeah,
No, it
I
does.
think that this would have been done by now.
Yeah.
If he had no back, nothing happened, you know.
Okay, I keep trying to tell him because I know Jerry so well. This would have gotten done 3 weeks ago if Zeke had reported to camp on time. Jerry is at heart a player's owner. I don't care what you say. He loves his players to a fault, especially his star players. Because Jerry played a little football. He was a starter on a national championship team at Arkansas.
1960 Arkansas.
You know? And again, was he great? No, but he was good enough to be a guard. He was a starting offensive
But you
guard.
said something very interesting, Skip. You say Jerry is a players, but you said something at the end. At the end of the day, Jerry is a what? An owner. At the end of the day, money.
It's about dollars.
Money is the motivating factor for
At
Jerry.
the end of the day, his sport has a cap. That's all. If you were
I ain't got no cap.
Okay.
My bank account ain't got no cap.
Okay. Well,
I give you that information. You put as much money in there as you want to.
maybe you should have played baseball.
No, did I play football? I was a better running back than I was.
But it goes back to what I said earlier. You know, Jerry wants to win a Super Bowl. I mean, he does. That's the most important thing to him is to win a Super Bowl. And without
You know what?
Zeke,
21 wants to win one too. I believe he is made of the right stuff.
Every
Sometimes off
player
the field,
does.
not- Okay,
every
but some
player
want
does.
it a lot more than others want
Yeah.
it. And I keep telling him, your game is about this battle between your inner self of do you want to earn or win, because they're kind of mutually exclusive
Oh, no, they're
sometimes,
not.
right?
No, they're not.
Yeah, they
Jerry
are.
Jeter won and still was making buku money.
Boy, that's
Okay.
So
baseball.
you can money, you can make
Here
it.
we
Skip,
go
baby.
again, no salary
That's
cap.
baseball.
That
That's
don't do
baseball.
George Steinbrenner.
I don't care. But I'm trying, Edie, help me understand this. Now, Zeke wants this money, and Jerry's gonna probably have to give him his money. But then he says we want to manage him. When you manage bell cow backs, did you get managed?
No, I
Did
didn't.
they worry about your carries?
No,
Adrian Peterson, Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, they never worry about no carries.
Look.
Now you got a bell cow, you about to pay the man $15 million a year and talk about, I can only let you get 20 carries a game, 22 carries a game.
No, they gonna run him.
Run him in the ground.
Well, first of all,
Whoa. Wait a second. You're missing the new development. There's number 36 on
come
the
on.
roster now.
Come on
Number
now.
36.
Come on now.
I want to know what he
Come
says
on.
about
He's
the guy.
the new
Come on.
bus. He's the new Jerome Bettis, because Jerome wore 36, and this kid can bang it between the tackles.
Come on.
I said it first, and I'm going to be last to this market, too, because Tony Pollard can play. He is not Zeke, but he is a quality NFL running back who could carry the load through the first 3 games.
But everybody in the NFL can play.
Look, he's never done it before. Look, when you come out of college and all of a sudden you're playing for the Dallas Cowboys and you expect to fill Ezekiel Elliott's shoes for, let's say, 3 weeks, that is a hard field.
And he's never carried the ball more than double digits in two games,
That
twice.
was Memphis's fault.
And that was his
And by
fault.
the way, that kept him really fresh, right? He's not beat up.
Maybe the coaches know something we didn't.
Yeah. Huh. Well, you can speculate all
No,
you want to speculate.
well, you speculate.
I'm eye testing what I saw. This kid flashed off my TV screen in the 2 games I watched Memphis play. I said, that kid
Did he
can
flash
play.
like Zeke?
No.
No.
Okay.
No, that's
Well,
it.
he wasn't doing Zeke stuff.
Okay,
Well,
then.
it goes to show you that they need Zeke. I've been saying this from
Well,
day one.
obviously.
They
and
need it. And
Jerry
they
says
they will get it done.
Yes,
Like,
they're going
and
to
you-
get it done next week.
You said
they
it.
won't.
You said it. Jerry is a player's. He loves his players.
He
He really
does.
does. He loves his players, like you say, to a fault, and that's a good thing
More
for,
than, he
for
loves more
players.
than Ben Franklin? More than Grant?
Well, you know what? Jerry's gonna
More than Solomon
this
P.
how-
Chase?
I think this is how Jerry looks at it. With Zeke, if they win, he's gonna make more money. And even without Zeke, if the Cowboys go 6-10, that hurts the Cowboy brand. That really does. That
Nothing hurts the Cowboys brand.
that
Because
hurts.
they've been losing more than winning for 23 years, and they're still the most valuable sports team in all the world. So nothing can hurt that brand.
But imagine if they win. When you win, it
I
makes
can't
it.
imagine that. My mind
You
won't let me
wanna go that
imagine
far?
Nope.
Okay.
Shannon,
What?
You have become a puppet on Jerry's strings. He's just
Team
negotiating now. He goes good cop, then he goes bad cop. And Shannon goes way up here, and then he goes way down here.
See, he wanted Zeke to come to camp because, see, what Jerry and Steven does, they try to cut the agent out. So they work directly. You know, we can get this deal done now, you know.
Well, that's all.
Now, Jerry,
Shannon, this is actually a good thing for the player.
No.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Does Jerry Jones have a lawyer? Did he do this deal, this stadium deal, directly with AT&T, or did he let his lawyers handle it?
Well, I mean, he does a lot of the negotiations with players.
No, I thought the players.
No, he didn't say. That's not the question.
I said, did he do the deal with Pepsi? Did he do the deal with AT&T?
I don't know. What's that have to do with the deal with the player?
Because he has an agent. He has an attorney that works in the best interest of Jerry Jones. Okay. So I got an agent that works in the best interest because his thing is, Skip, you know, when I'm with a big bank, take little bank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, Jerry they're gonna put clauses and stuff in there that I don't really understand.
Yeah.
And see, players don't understand that the cap's gonna go up about 10 to 12% every year. And so what looks good right now gonna be trash in a year or two. So that's why you're gonna keep on rocking. Rocky said, I'm gonna keep you right here with me, Zeke.
I told you what would have happened. Zeke would have gotten a little more, a lot sooner if he had buddied up to Jerry the first day of training camp. Trust me.
You know my grandpa used to say, boy, all my buddies run rabbits and howl at the moon.
I heard that.
So what my buddies are? Dogs.
Dogs.
Yeah, so like, Jerry ain't no buddy of mine.
We're never
Give me
gonna
my
know
bread.
if that would have worked out better.
You just called Jerry a dog.
No, I said, that's what I said. I said, all my buddies.
All his buddies.
Enough, Zeke, for now, because Saquon Barkley, he's been talking lately as he becomes
That's
the
the man.
best running back in football. He is going to stick around. He'll help us with this next one. Stay with us.
I'm Jenny Taft. Thank you for listening to the Undisputed podcast. But before the show moves along, here's a quick word from our friends over at the Fantasy Footballers podcast. The NFL season is back, and that means one thing. It's fantasy football time. The Fantasy Footballers podcast is the most downloaded fantasy football podcast for a reason. It has the most accurate rankings as measured by fantasy pros, so you have a leg up on your competition. Want to dominate the waiver wire in your league? Be the first to find those hidden sleepers or grab those breakout stars before everyone else? Then you should listen to the Fantasy Footballers podcast to get the most up-to-date intel to win your matchup each week. Subscribe right now to the Fantasy Footballers podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also visit them on the web at thefantasyfootballers.com. Subscribe now and dominate your fantasy football league.
Saquon Barkley isn't shy about his talents after being named the Offensive Rookie of the Year last season. At an NFL Network event, Saquon said, "You got to believe that you are one of the best, and that's what I personally believe." Barry Sanders also weighed in and said that Saquon has the potential for all-time greatness after seeing the Giants running back for just 1 year in the league. So, Eric, who do you think is the best running back right now?
Do I have to answer that question?
You do. This is your department.
Well, you know, you have to look at, you know, what guys are doing with what they have.
Okay.
I believe that's what I believe.
Okay.
I look at what Zeke Elliott has done in Dallas with what he has. He's done great. I look at what Todd has done in L.A. with what he has. And I look at Saquon in 1 year, what he does and what he has. And he doesn't have much.
Yeah, what he doesn't have.
He doesn't have much. I mean, he don't really have anything, really. He doesn't have a great offensive line. He doesn't have a top receiver. I mean, OBJ was there last year, but you never know what's happened with that. Quarterback couldn't stay upright. I mean, that wasn't his fault. He just can't get out the way of anybody. But I'd have to say, for my money right now, I'd have to go with Saquon because he showed me some things that I was like, wow. And I never saw him play in college. I would hear about him, but I never watched him play in college. And when I saw him play, I was like, wow, this guy is dynamic. He reminds me of Barry Sanders. There's something special about him. I'm really, because as a running back, the big thing that helps backs is that acceleration because everything happens so fast. You know, the holes close fast. You have to outrun angles sometimes if you can outrun an angle. And so for me, a guy who doesn't have a lot and has done what he had over 2,000 yards last year, you know, total offense. You look at it, I'll say this, if I took Todd and I put him in the Giants' offense, wouldn't be the same back. I just got to say that. If you took Zeke and put him in the Giants' offense, wouldn't be the same back. It takes a guy that sometimes doesn't have a lot. And that's when you see the greatness of a player. When he doesn't have a lot. Like Barry Sanders didn't have hardly anything. down there.
Barry probably had about 2,500 behind Cowboys line.
Oh, man, I'd have had the same thing.
You got about 26 each?
Oh, Lord, have mercy. I just thought you think about that. When you watching that, you're like, man, why come I can't get a hole like that? My God, I wish I had a quarterback to throw the ball and get the pressure off me.
If you'd gotten to play the Cowboy defense
every Sunday, right? You're right about that.
But I watched you run.
I love playing against that flex. That flex.
They play too wide.
Oh,
you can't play that wide now.
I'm going to play off the ball. I'm going to play off the ball. That's fine.
I was there that day. He went for 240.
248.
248.
Don't cut no yard.
Yeah.
So for me, I would have to say, and he says it right. I mean, you have to believe that you're that good. You might, because if you go out and say, oh, I'm just okay, I'm just doing all right. No, because think about playing a running back position. You get hit, they talking to you, it's politics. It's a lot to deal with. You're thinking about how long is my career gonna last? If I got a nick, can I keep playing? But I like what he says. You've got to believe that you're the best.
I've been telling you that. I've been telling you that, Skip, baby.
You've been wrong every time.
No. There's the man right there. The man that got the most rushing yards of the rookie, the most rushing yards in the season in NFL history. Just verify, we like confirmation. When you flying out today, you got confirmation, right?
I did.
Airline called you. Hotel, confirmation. You get a rental car, confirmation. We like confirmation. I like confirmation. I like validation.
Well, you need some right now. Can somebody
call?
Give me Saquon, because he has power, he has speed, he has the ability to make you miss, and he can accelerate. He has 8 plays of 50 yards or more. No other player has half as many. Skip, and the thing is, like Edie said, you talk about what he has, I'm going to talk about what he doesn't have. And all the things that Edie mentioned, he doesn't have an offensive line, because he probably had more yards than that, because he got to make 15 people miss in the backfield just to get to the line of scrimmage. With that, Skip, he can catch the ball, because when you look at a running back now, it's just not good to be what we call pure runners. You must be able to catch the ball, because if every time you come out of the game, they know you're going to throw it, then they're going to gear up for that. Saquon, he's a 3-down back. His ability, and I know you talk about, he gets like 5 yards here and 2 yards there, and stopped in the backfield, and then he goes 80.
Is it my turn?
No, it's not your turn. But you always do that. But Skip, he has no weakness. He has tremendous balance, great vision. But the thing that I love most about him is that very few backs can do this. He can move laterally and then put his foot in the dirt, ED, and hit his head on the goalpost.
And that's what I saw him do.
That was very few running backs could do that, Skip Bayless. The guy that's 233, 235, and can make you miss?
Yeah. My turn. The best running back I ever saw is sitting to my left right now.
No, you're right. You're right about that.
Except for one game in 1985 playoffs at Chicago. Other than that game, he was the greatest I ever saw. But that was the greatest, arguably the greatest defense that ever was assembled. But the point with this man was he was what you call a bell cow back. He could impose his will on a defense and just wear them out mentally, as he did to my Dallas Cowboy defense that first playoff game that year in Anaheim. And I don't know, how many carries do you remember what you got that game?
31.
31 carries for 248. 31 times he just hammered away. And a lot of it is just straight up the gut. It's just like boom, 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 until you just wore them down and ultimately out. This kid, and he's a great kid, he can't do that. He doesn't run between the tackles with the authority that you have to run if you are the bell cow back. The best running back in football right now is my running back, Zeke Elliott, because he can just wear you down with his relentless run through your brick wall style. He will just fight. If it's 3rd and 1, he'll get a yard and a half running through 4 tacklers. He will push people back. He will squirm. He will scratch. He will claw and get yards that will take some years off the backside of his life, of his career.
Yes.
So the point with this young man, Saquon, is if you take away his biggest rush in each of the games that he played last year, he averaged 49 rush yards a game. If you take them completely away, then you find in so many games, he had 5 games, if you take away the big game, that his rush yards averaged under 2 yards a game. And he had 10 games where he averaged under 3 yards a rush without the one big killer rush.
But that's what he gives you.
Okay? But if you want to tell me he's the best weapon in football, I will give you that. But if you take away his biggest catch in a game, he averaged 24 receiving yards a game. So I can give you a whole lot of 1 yard and 2 yard gains.
Yes.
Leading to just one breakaway run. You remember the opener against the Dallas Cowboys. You know, his longest run was 10 yards, but on the other ones, he went 18 total yards on 10 carries against my team because he's just going nowhere slowly. He can't even, to your point, get out of the backfield. Well, he's not big enough and strong enough. He doesn't run with the authority to impose his will.
He's bigger than Zeke.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he just doesn't run bigger and stronger than
No,
Zeke.
he's bigger than Zeke. Skip, he's like 10 pounds heavier than Zeke.
He's thicker than Zeke.
Nope,
yeah.
nope, he's not.
Yes, he is.
doesn't run with the authority that Zeke does between the tackles. He's a dancer and a prancer. That's what he does. No, he does. I know. I watched him. He just gave you the numbers.
Skip,
Show me where he wore defense down and
Skip.
out. No,
What
can't do
what
it.
he possessed better than Zeke is to make you miss.
Okay, he's
See,
a
that's why-
jump cutter.
That's why he can. That's why he can hit his head on the goalpost,
Yeah.
and Zeke can't, because Zeke can't make that guy miss. Zeke is trying to run through the guy. That guy can step to the side, and
I
he's
have
gone.
seen Zeke hit his head on the goalpost.
Well,
I saw it at Pittsburgh when he was a rookie.
But you
remember that?
said all these ifs. You know, if he wouldn't have had the long run, if he didn't do this, if there's a fifth, we'd all be drunk. But
I'm not saying if. I'm just saying I give you the long run, and then you got to give me all those the 19 other carries that went nowhere.
But you got to understand, in a football game, that's how it is sometimes. You know, you may stop me in the first half. You may stop me in the first. You may stop me all the way to the third quarter. But sooner or later, in that fourth quarter, I got a 50, or I got a 30, or I got a 20. You can't take that away because that's football.
Oh,
You know,
so
that's how it works.
now you want to take away big game. Okay, what about Tom Brady in the Super Bowl?
Nah,
Can we take away that 29-yard throw?
What are you talking about?
I'm
It was a
talking-
game-winning drive.
That's what I'm saying. He hit his head on the goalpost.
Okay, but that's one game. How about the last one that he lost? He threw for 505.
Skip, I'm saying-
What are you going to take away from the
I'm not-
505?
Skip,
Show me.
Skip,
Help me.
I'm-
What are you going to take
I'm
away
take
from
away
the game at Kansas City? The three third and 10 conversions.
I'm going to take away the drop touchdown pass that he dropped. I'm going to take away the fumble. We're going to take away that. But that's not. We're talking about this. Skip. When you look at Saquon and you look at, and there's Todd. I like Todd. I like Le'Veon. I like Kamara. But Skip, when you combine all these guys, he's bigger than you think because you don't think a back his size can accelerate. He's
bigger in his lower body than his upper body.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Earl Campbell. But he can punish you. He really can.
He cannot punish you. Go look at the numbers. Zeke averaged 4.7 yards a carry last year.
Watch him run. He doesn't run away from contact. Look, he's a back.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't. If you have to have contact, he'll give you contact.
Right.
But if I got a way to get around you, that's how you run.
Right.
I'm not running to the contact.
Right.
I'm trying. If I can make you miss, I'm
Zeke
gonna make you miss.
Zeke is a run-to-contact runner,
That's a
Skip.
smart runner.
I'll take the run to contact because he can establish the run.
But
I did not see Saquon establish the run any game last year.
Skip, if you put Saquon behind that Dallas Cowboy offensive line, I guarantee you he'll have back-to-back 2,000-yard seasons.
Hey, watch what happens when you put Tony Pollard behind that line.
Oh, boy.
Seriously. I'm serious.
Oh, come on, Skip.
Well, no, come on. You come on.
Come on, Skip. Come on.
Skip the type of guy, we be having a good conversation. We be talking about one thing and then you hope about, what about, bro, we ain't even talking about that, Skip. We were having a good conversation.
How did he get in the
How
conversation?
did he get in that? Come
We
on.
talking-
Tyron Smith and Travis Frederick and Zach Woo-hoo. Lyle Collins?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
And we were talking about Zeke and Todd Gurley and
I was
Saquon
trying-
and Kamara. And then you come up with
Okay,
That's
you're
your
saying
guy.
my line is so good. Well, I'm with you. I think it's better than Philly's line, and Philly's the one that Pro Football Focus says is the best.
Skip, that was the same offensive line that blocked for the Arkansas running back, Darren McFadden. They got 1,089.
It's not the exact same line.
It was the exact same line.
No, it was not. Lyle Collins wasn't there yet. Well, he wasn't.
Skip, they had Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, and Tyron Smith, all Pro Bowl players.
Yeah.
Blocked for Darren McFadden, who got 1,089.
Okay.
Zeke comes in the next year and goes for 1,606 and misses a game. There's the difference.
That's the difference.
Zeke's the best running back in football.
Oh, I mean, you know
Well,
what?
he is.
I put it like this. I take either one of them. I take Todd. I take Zeke. I take Le'Veon. I
I don't know if I take Todd with
I take.
those knees of his. I don't know.
Let me tell you something.
You know, that contract got so heavy on his shoulder pads, his knees started aching.
It's not a good sign.
But that's why Zeke gonna get this money, because he knows Saquon coming. He said he got to do right by
he's scared to
Saquon.
death.
Do right by Saquon.
He is scared to death of 36 on his own team. That's who he's scared of.
No.
Trust me.
Trust me.
Whenever we are talking about running backs, it's always
you
good
guys,
to have this
you're
guy
gonna-
with us.
Tony Pollard.
Oh, Tony Pollard.
Eric, thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
So LeBron, are his critics starting to get to the king? We'll discuss what he's saying next.
Here we
Talk
go.
about Tony Pollard.
Hey guys, this is Jenny Taft, and I have a quick message for you about Noom. Some people think that all diet and weight loss plans are the same, but that's because they haven't tried Noom. Noom is a new, totally different approach to losing weight and getting healthy that uses psychology and small goals to help you change your habits, making it easy to lose the weight and keep it off for good. Noom combines the power of technology with real human support, offering as little or as much help as you want along the way. And since Noom is an app, it's always with you and easy to use, which makes it super easy to stay on track and reach your goals. It's just as simple to get started. Just go online, answer a few quick questions, and they'll create a personalized program just for you. Noom can help you lose your old way of thinking about food and dieting. So what do you have to lose? Visit Noom.com/podcast, NOOM.com/podcast, and start your 14-day trial today. Change your habits, change your mind, change for good with Noom.
LeBron James is on a mission to prove his doubters wrong. LeBron posted this video to his Instagram story with the hashtag #WashedKing. Last week, Scottie Pippen said he didn't believe LeBron could carry the load for his team anymore, and a recent survey of NBA experts had the slight majority saying that LeBron would not win a title with the Lakers. Shannon, what is going on with your guy LeBron here?
Skip, he hears all the talk. He hears everything that's been said. As Jenny mentioned in the read, Scottie Pippen.
No radio silent right now, right?
No. Hold on,
He
Skip.
hears it.
He just hears everything.
Yep.
He's always heard everything, and even if he doesn't hear it, there are people around him that hear it and bring it to him. But he's also letting people know. He posted this. I hear what you guys are saying, but I just want you to know that I'm getting this in. You know, Skip Bayless always has a way of saying things. LeBron would say something, or LeBron would do this. Michael Jordan would have never done that. I wonder if Michael Jordan would have ever shot a movie in the offseason for an upcoming season. You think he would have done something like that, Jenny?
Well, you know.
Would he do it coming off a
It
championship?
happened.
Whoa. No, he didn't do it coming off a championship. As a matter of fact, he did it coming off of when he got kicked out of the playoffs by Orlando, Penny, and Shaq. That's when he did it. He wasn't coming off a championship.
But he was 3-0 in the championship.
Well, my guy got 3 of them too.
Oh, really?
But that's
He's got
neither here nor
6
there.
losses.
Skip, it's not your turn to talk. Why are you
well,
talking?
you asked
No,
me.
I didn't ask you anything. I asked Jenny. And Jenny
Chiming
commented,
in.
you chimed in anyway. Skip, this is the first time in LeBron James' this will be a 17th NBA season, that people are actually wondering,
That is true.
questioning, is he on the downside of his career? Have we seen the best LeBron James will ever be, or can he maintain the level that he's played at for such a long time? He hears that. He's very motivated, but he also understands he has AD now. He has a better team. There's more going to be expected of him. And he knows he needs to go very, very far. I have no doubt in my mind. I sleep real easy. Skip, when I go home and I lay in that bed, when I lay down, I look at my clock, it's normally about 9:05.
Yeah.
About 9:15, I cut the light off, say my prayer, hey, good night, boys, and we go to sleep. He rested like that, too, because he put that work in. When you put that work in, you sleep
You say your prayer?
every night.
Really?
Yeah,
Does he
and
say,
before every
Shannon,
meal.
where were you Sunday?
I say my prayer. I don't know what he.
I like to hear that. Jeez, that's better than me.
Man, you always.
Yeah, I know. So
Don't miss anything.
LeBron does have AD now, but he does not have ADD because he's all attention. He is focused on everything. He's all ears, all eyes. He just drinks it all in.
Yeah, because
right?
you the one that been cheering. You've been leading the charge talking about he washed. Oh, Father Time, tapping him on the shoulder. Father Time.
So let's give us our definition here of washed, because it's not washed up. Washed to me is more like you're just worn out, right? The Wash King is like just sort of worn out with all the attacks on him, you know, all the attacks on his character and his...
No, he said, y'all said I'm washed. I'm the Wash King now. Okay, I'm going to show you.
Washed up?
That's
we
what
going
you got.
washed up?
That's
That
what
is
wash
different,
means.
You're right.
Okay,
That
because
means
washed
more.
up is everybody's saying he's done, basically.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what wash did. They took the up off.
Who took the up off?
Everybody. That's what they say now.
Was it a mistake?
Oh, that joke wash, man.
Okay.
That's what that means.
Because to me, washed means more like, I'm just tired of this. Like I had a hard day or I had a hard month or whatever. I'm washed. No?
Well, the emoji as well.
Yeah.
You know, like sick, like throwing up because
okay.
King. You know that
Yeah.
he's not happy about what's being said about him.
And he guess what?
That
Well, if you're
emoji
the
means
wash
something.
king, then you're not the king anymore.
Oh, no.
Right?
That's what y'all trying to say.
Oh.
That's what y'all trying to put that out there. Oh, he's not going to be LeBron. He's not going to be great. He's going to take a step back. Oh, he got to concede. Kawhi is the new king of L.A. Kawhi will get nothing and like it.
Really?
He's in our house. He's a tenant in Staples. So until they get their own building, he's going to be looking at us. All the statues, there are no Clippers and statues out front of Staples. We will continue that. Clippers are not going to get anything. I know everybody wants the Clippers to be good because you talk about the hate that they have for Tom Brady and the Cowboys. That ain't nothing compared for what they got for the King, led by you,
Really?
CEO of the LeBron Hate Club.
So the other day, Scottie Pippen said LeBron James is no longer capable of carrying a team to
We
a
don't
championship.
listen to Robbins. We only listen to top-notch superheroes. Batman, Iron Man, Superman, Wonder Woman. We don't listen to second-tier superheroes.
This Robin got to watch up close and personal the true,
Say it again.
the true GOAT.
Say it again.
The
What did he
true
get to do?
GOAT.
What did he get to do?
He got to watch.
He wasn't participating, huh?
But
Watch
he
it.
got to watch what happened. So he knows what true GOAT looks like versus phony GOAT. So he's just saying, I don't see it. In year 17,
That's a Billy Goat right there, Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
You know what a Billy Goat is? They got that big old long beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They eat tin cans.
Yep.
And he ate a whole bunch of tin last year.
That's a
'cause he
big
went
horn.
28 and 27 as a starter for the Lakers.
Well, if you drive down south, you'll see a couple of them standing out old washed-out buses, standing on top. That's what my guy,
then-
he gonna be top of L.A.
Saw a panel of experts were voting on ESPN 2 days ago, and 51% of them said LeBron will never win another title as a Laker. Well, he won't win a title as a Lakers. He's never won one as a Laker, obviously.
This year.
And 49% said he would win one. So you got 49%, but you got more doubters than supporters.
That's what we like.
Yeah.
They doubted us. They doubted we get out of Akron.
Interesting.
They doubted we become the king. They doubted that we gonna have a shoe deal.
And it was very interesting what Kyle Kuzma said about a month ago, because in a very positive context in which he said, LeBron is ready.
Ready.
Yeah. He also said, so many people have been slandering his name. And I was just shocked at that quote, at the reality of a lot of people are slandering the name of the king. Why is that? Because there's a lot of doubt out there about the guy who got hurt last year and went 28 and 27.
Yeah, and had 27 and 20, had 27, 8 and 8.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of guys never had seasons like that.
And I'm going to
but
give
my
you a
guy did.
break this time, and I'm not going to show the blooper reel from last year,
Oh.
the lowlights, because it's so bad
Have
what
it
happened.
memorized.
I'm not going to do it anymore because it's just piling on, and we know how bad it got. It was embarrassingly bad for LeBron last year.
Okay, what you gonna say this
To
year?
me, okay, this is what I'm going to say about what he keeps posting, like that one yesterday, last night. That is just sadly laughable to me. He's better than that.
Why is it sad?
It's weak. It's
What-
lame.
Hey, if you don't mind me
So
asking,
wait. He's going to post the one jump shot he made, and we're going to
He made them all.
Yeah, he made them all.
Yeah.
That's the one he made. We don't get to
Bam.
see the ones he missed.
What about this right here, Skip?
Yeah.
Woo, put it on the floor, bro.
Okay.
Lefty, lay up.
Wait, you realize that's off the wrong foot, right? It's a wrong-footed
That's
left-handed
the way he
layup.
does it.
That's what he does. Okay, I'll give you that. But he keeps trying to tell us what he's going to do next year. Remember, comeback season for the ages.
Yeah.
I just say, if you're that guy, if you're still the king, just go radio silent and show us. I want him to show me he can carry a team over 82 games and through the playoffs to a championship.
We're going to carry your team.
Show me.
We're not going to put a set
Show me.
I am not going to allow you to put a set number of games because knowing you, well, he only played 68 games. He was supposed to carry him over 82. I know he's going to do. But I know this. You don't have a problem when Tom Brady shows you, oh, I'm faster. Oh, my arm is stronger, and he launches the ball 60 yards. You never have a problem with that.
He just won another Super Bowl. He
You make it seem like this man fettuccine.
Okay, he keeps showing you. That man is the un-Brady. That man is 3-6 in the finals.
Goat man, goat man.
3-6. Tom Brady is 6-3. He's the opposite of Tom Brady.
Goat man.
Un-Brady.
Goat.
Yep.
Mount Rushmore.
The goat of goats is Tom Brady.
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how it works?
You're a hater, Skip.
He's on Mount Turnover.
Skip, you're a hater.
I'm not.
Skip,
why does he have to keep doing that?
Why
he has
not?
to keep. I'm going to huff and puff and blow your house down. Remember the Three Little Pigs?
Yeah, I
remember
do
that?
remember
Because
that.
that's what he's like.
I mean,
I'm going to huff and puff and blow your house
but
down.
You don't got
no, you're not.
But you don't got no problem with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
With Tom Brady posting stuff.
Yeah.
Got no problem with that. Why you ain't got no problem with Tom?
It's his motivation.
Because
Same.
he wins. he backs it up.
He win.
Yeah. Oh, does he?
Yep.
Yeah, that was a pathetic year last year, and that was a pathetic post.
I
He's
mean-
better than that.
I mean, LeBron.
If you're the king, come on.
LeBron, I mean, you see what happened in a late game when the guy turned the ball over.
Mm-hmm.
Steph Curry passed behind his back. Boom. Late game against the Seahawks. Russell Wilson turns the ball over. They win. It happens.
Yep.
LeBron don't get those luxuries that Tom has gotten, those breaks Tom has gotten. It's fine.
He's still shooting Space Jam 2. Because they fired the director and got a new one. They had to start over.
He went up to, he
this
went
is
up-
taking
he went
so
up to
much
speed.
out of him. It's
Look,
taking so much
this
time.
Let's go.
So then he goes in some gym and for 5 minutes he shoots a video.
Oh, see what you do now it's 5 minutes. Tom Brady chose one clip. He's been out there for 3 hours throwing. He's all up in Jackson Hole. Remember he's in Jackson Hole with
Did you see
Edelman?
Tom Brady back it up with that run that he made in that preseason game?
I don't know.
That was a brisk
Shifty.
That
run.
Did you see
one
that?
run.
Did you see the head fake and the make you miss?
His
Did you see
head
it?
move ain't nothing else move. I ain't see no shoulders. I ain't see nothing. All I see was this right here.
I saw quickness.
Getting better and better with
I saw a
age.
new quickness. He's just getting better and better. LeBron looked good. His body looks good. He
Ooh.
looks like he's in shape.
He be getting it in.
Okay.
4:30, 5
Okay.
o'clock, he get it in.
Okay,
That's
we
what-
are all looking forward to seeing what the Steelers do this season. Have they already filled the hole left
Yep.
by Antonio Brown?
They have.
Talk about that next.
No mercy.
Juju Smith-Schuster is getting comfortable as the new #1 receiver, with the Steelers catching a touchdown from Big Ben in a preseason game on Sunday. But that's not the only boost he's gotten recently. The third-year receiver was tied for #7 on the Sports Business Journal's most marketable players list, while his predecessor, Antonio Brown, wasn't on the list at all, which is crazy. Skip, how surprised are you that Juju ended up so high on this list?
So you were pretty surprised that my guy Dak Prescott was 10th.
10, yeah.
But by far, the biggest shock on this list is Juju Smith-Schuster all the way up, tied for 7th, and threatening to make it into the top 5,
Yeah.
while Antonio was in the second 10 because he was 14th in the total list.
Right.
So tied for 7th versus 14th, and he played in AB's shadow in Pittsburgh. Very interesting. So what do we learn from this? What's the moral to this story? You have an AB who, to me, is the biggest self-promoter in all of the NFL, and I got no problem with it. It's just the way business is done. It's like
Right.
this day and age.
Right.
That's fine, but he is all about clicks and likes.
Right.
He lives on IG, and to his credit, he has huge charisma. We can even see it on Hard Knocks. He's got a like a 1,000,000-watt smile, and when he turns on his personality,
Right.
there's a lot of charm to him.
Yeah, he has the best smile.
Okay.
Whew.
Yet
Yeah.
Juju is more marketable because to me he's just far more likable.
Yes.
And he is backing it up so far on the football field,
Right.
and I think he will continue to this year.
Okay.
So what's wrong with AB? Too many incidents, too many controversies. It's always something with AB, and a lot of times it's negativity. It's AB versus Ben. It's AB versus the Steelers. It's AB versus the league over the new helmet, right? It's always a controversy that has a negative vibe to it,
Correct.
right?
I'll give you
And so
that.
that has hurt his marketability in the biggest picture when he wants to sell himself, because business is booming, right? Okay, so Juju is a great kid. We've had him on the show. And in the explanation of why he is tied for 7th, some of the let me read some of it here.
Comments.
On, what was it, Sports Business Journal?
Yeah.
Smith-Schuster's appearance on the list is driven in large part by his social media acumen, his interest in esports, and his open and accessible personality. He's a new age hero. He's the epitome of the next generation. Generation Z loves him, and he's well positioned to be at the forefront of the NFL's marketing initiatives going forward. That is a big mouthful.
Yep.
for a kid that I did not see coming yet like this. But just for the record, he caught 111 balls last year to AB's 104. He had 1,426 yards receiving to 1,297 for AB, and he was voted, as you know, the team MVP.
Right.
So the players bought into him, and I've bought into him because he's more likable because he doesn't sell himself to you. He's not trying hard to convince you, I'm this and I'm that, the way Antonio always comes off as if...
He's selling himself without selling himself.
He is. No, he is. It's pleasant.
Yes.
He's accessible. He's open. And remember at that last playoff game, he stood out on the field at the end of the game.
Look at the
watching
scoreboard.
the scoreboard of the Ravens game because they needed the Ravens.
Right.
So
Skip, I agree with you, Skip. I am surprised. But I think and they mention it, and I had it wrote down, Skip, I think he's very relatable. He has a great personality. The Pittsburgh Steelers, that's a very, very prominent franchise.
No, it is.
And they travel very, very well. But I'm surprised considering that he's so young, he plays a dependent position. But because all the reasons that they mentioned, his social media, he comes across as very likable. He comes across as very relatable. Like, you see him, Skip, he's in a shoe store and he buys everybody's shoes. Or he's playing e-sport games with people on IG. So they look at that like, man, he cool, man. He just like one of the homies. People like relatability. People they're like, man, he just, yeah, he's a professional. But if you didn't know he played sports, you would never knew he played sports. At this current juncture right now, what is AB gonna market? Where you gonna put it? What you gonna let AB sell to you?
I don't know. I wouldn't trust him.
Yeah, exactly.
there you
Might
go.
change his mind.
Yeah, exactly. So for me right now, Skip, I am surprised. I'm really surprised because I think they're like, and it just goes to show you, you don't have to be the best, but you just have to have some quality that resonate with the people at home. And he has a quality, his likability, his relatability, his infectious personality. He comes across as warm. He comes across as, it's like, man, he doesn't come across like, man, I'm sick of him. I wish he'd just cut it out.
Yep.
I think people are tired of the back and forth that AB is going back and forth with Ben.
Yep.
I think they want him not to just take the high road. Okay, you got what you wanted.
Yep.
You wanted out of Pittsburgh. You got your money. Why do you need to feel the need to go back and forth? Juju doesn't have that. So
He has a likability that's very clear because I was around him a lot at USC, and I felt like everyone kind of always wanted to be where Juju was.
Right.
And it was the same with the media. You just couldn't get enough of him.
Right.
And everyone said from that day on, they're like, he's going to be a star.
And he got a
They
cool name,
knew.
Juju.
It's a great
I
name.
mean, he got a little cool, little homie name growing up back
Thinking about that, you name your kid Juju. That's, you know, he's going to be somebody.
Yeah, he better be.
I like the whole ring of Juju Smith-Schuster. It's just a cool name.
I mean, how you gonna go? Hey, Juju. I mean, how you gonna go to a normal job 9 to 5 years? Hey, Juju.
Yeah, you're not gonna be forgotten.
You got to be big.
You're not gonna be forgotten.
Yeah.
Do I think that Juju is better than Antonio? I do
No,
not.
no.
He is just not. Do I think he's really good? Do I think he's going to get better?
Yes.
Do I think Ben Roethlisberger is going to make a point of trying to make him a star? I do.
Mm-hmm.
To your point, you say, better be careful what you wish for because you're going to get doubled and you're going to feel a whole lot different coverage swung to you.
It might be a situation where they doubled AB and Juju got the honey. They doubled Juju and James Washington get the honey.
Well, James is going to get some honey. Just watch.
Guys, we got to go back to Jerry here. Is he really going to let Zeke miss regular season games? It could come to this. We'll discuss next.
No.
Well, Ezekiel Elliott's holdout continues. Jerry Jones squashed any rumors yesterday that Zeke was recently offered any new deals, saying that there is nothing new to report with the negotiations. Jones also said that the team was prepared to play without certain players due to injury, suspension, or even a holdout. After the Cowboys team luncheon yesterday, Jerry still seemed calm about the situation with Zeke. Take a listen.
But really, the whole point that I'm making about all of it, we don't have any movement at all. And the same way we look at anything, we'll get ready for the Giants, and if he's not there at the Giants, and he comes in the next, or the next, or the next, or we'll use him for the playoffs.
Skip, did you like Jerry saying this?
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I did not love that one.
Huh.
it was not necessary to draw a line that deeply or harshly into the sand. It was not necessary to suggest or imply that the Cowboys could make the playoffs without Zeke and then he could come back fresh for the playoffs. Because I'll be honest with you, I doubt they could make the playoffs without Ezekiel Elliott.
Even with Tony Pollard told that thing?
I told you he's not Zeke. But I doubt it will come to that. This deal will get done next week. Jerry is just negotiating his behind off, and this was his latest salvo, his latest bad cop response, his latest line in the sand to Zeke that was the equivalent of Zeke who? Remember that one? Okay, this was a Zeke who, to go ahead, so far as to suggest, oh, well, we got this, and then you could come back and go for a nice ride in the playoffs because we'll get to the playoffs without you. That's not going to happen because he's not going to miss games or certainly the whole 16-game regular season. So it's Jerry playing bad cop again just to send another message to a Zeke who's just lonely, stuck down in Cabo that, hey, we're doing great without you. We're ready to go forward without you. And he's not. And there will be a phone call made. I'm going to guess it's going to be Sunday night that will reopen negotiation, line of communication. They'll negotiate fittingly on Labor Day and on Tuesday, maybe. I don't
That's
know,
a
one
vacation.
of those days.
Rocky said he ain't taking calls on Labor
Really?
Day.
Well,
so you
better be ready.
down to Tuesday.
Because Rocky is due to make a big commission off this one. This is one of his biggest commissions. He will work on Labor Day.
Yeah, Labor Day
MJ coming
off.
up, he's working.
Yep.
You off on Labor Day, Skip.
Okay, but as I always say about Jerry, he says some dumb things, but he ain't stupid. But in this case, this is a little bordering on dumb thing.
Skip, but he can't stop talking, Skip.
Yep.
He can't.
Well, he loves to hear himself talk.
Because everybody normally caves to Jerry and come on in, and then he'd have nothing to talk about. But because Zeke and his representative have not caved to Jerry, he keeps trying to, well, you know, hey, if he doesn't come back at Giants, he come back next week and another, and the yada, 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 we just have him for the playoffs. Jerry doesn't believe that.
No.
Jerry doesn't believe that he's going to get his part. First of all, you're being very dismissive of a lot of teams in the NFL, Jerry, that you just go, oh, we going to the playoffs. Really? You know you don't start where you left off last year, so you don't automatically get back to the playoffs. But you're going to be sorry, Skip. You're going to be sorry when Zeke is not in uniform on and I want my 10 cases. When we come here that Monday, I want my 10 cases.
Okay, well, you owe me 32.
No.
Surprised by 10, though, Skip.
No, so
That's
just
bold
break.
of you.
So just break. No,
Well, I'm so far ahead. What do I have to lose? Plus, I have the courage of my conviction, unlike somebody
I have the
who has
courage.
I've heard that.
vacillated wildly across the table.
well, you need to fill everybody in on how this thing works. I would
Yep.
need 10 cases a week from Monday.
Yeah, well, just 1 week ago, you were saying, it's over, he's coming in before game one. Yep, because you think he's going to get his whatever guaranteed. He's going to get a really sweet deal.
No,
It
a
won't-
sweet deal from your standard and a sweet deal from Zeke's standard are two different sweets.
Well, Jalen Smith got a nice deal, but it
Yeah,
was very,
exactly.
very team-friendly.
Yeah, there's a good chance that Jerry and Steven negotiated with Jalen Smith one-on-one.
Yeah. Jerry has positioned this perfectly because this team needs a rocket launch right into the season, and the first rocket to launch will be signing Zeke, and then I won't be surprised if by Thursday or Friday they announce the Dak deal, and here we go. And here goes Shannon Sharpe right down the tubes.
I'm looking for, here we go. We have to abort mission. Abort mission, Skip Bayless, because you know what happened, Skip? Rocky Arsenault, Joel Siegel, and Todd France, they got that buffer. So there's Jerry, here's the agent, and there's the player. And Jerry's trying to peek over there. Hey, keep your head down. Hey, you don't let them. See, that's what you do, Skip. You know, you learn like the movie stars. They're like, when you hear, hey, such and such, just keep on walking. Because once you turn around and you get your attention, then you're going to have to carry on the conversation. So what you do, you keep walking, pretend you don't hear, put some headphones on. Jerry, we can't hear you. Slide the check up under the door. We'll take a look at it. Slide it back and not enough zeros. That's how we negotiate. We ain't do no talk. We don't need to talk. Just zeros. We're going to let them zeros talk. Slide it back up under the door.
No talking.
I showed Zeke what
Check.
you think.
No.
Put another zero
Yes
on
or
that
no?
thing. Yep.
Jerry showed you his cards on August the 4th when he said the results are too good for them and too good for the Cowboys. And then he reiterated, think about that. Too good for them, too good for us. That means it will get done.
Money, 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 money. Money.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank you for that,
I hope
Shannon.
we don't have to pay money for you singing
Money.
that
I
song.
know,
They say
seriously.
money. They say money
No
talk.
more
We might have
lies.
to
But
pay
cash
big money,
scream.
and I think it's coming out of
No
your
more
check.
No,
lies.
for what?
Well, you just sang a song you
Man,
don't have the
no,
rights
so
to.
What rights?
Huh?
I got to write this First Amendment.
Somebody wrote
Free
that song
speech.
and somebody
It's
recorded
free
it.
speech.
It is
First
not
Amendment.
free.
My First Amendment.
Yeah, you can't.
I ain't no
Beautiful
money.
voice.
I can't say money.
Beautiful. Nah. There is one thing that LeBron can't even come close to when it comes to
Cash.
chasing MJ. It may have something to do with little money.
Whatever.
We'll talk about it next.
No mercy.
Hey, welcome back. The Herd is coming up next right here on FS1. Let's head over check in with Colin Cowherd today. Hey, Colin, what is on the show?
I'm going to make a plea to the Dallas Cowboys. Do not sign Zeke, at least now. You have more leverage. I'll break it down to show you how much the Cowboys have. And if you look at their schedule, I'll make a case it's the easiest in the league. Not joking, that's coming up.
All right, Colin, thanks. Time for our final topic of the day. The GOAT debate might rage on between Michael Jordan and LeBron, but when it comes to shoes, MJ is king. According to Forbes, MJ earned an estimated $130 million from shoe sales from the past year. That's more than 4 times as much as LeBron, who made the second most with $32 million. So, Shannon, are you surprised that MJ made so much more than LeBron in shoe sales?
Unnecessary. Skip, stop all them noise. No, because he had a 20-year head start to build his empire. And we know how this, Skip, stop.
He's 56 years old. He hasn't played for 16 seasons.
Skip.
He's
Jordan-
still doing it.
Skip, North Carolina is a team Jordan. Oklahoma, these teams that, and so
Yeah, you're
he
right.
had a 20-year head start to build his empire. We know what Michael Jordan is. No, I'm not surprised. He did over $3 billion in sales, Skip. So he made more just from Nike than Lionel Messi made, and he's the highest paid athlete. So I'm not surprised, Skip. Stop it.
MJ made $100 million more than the guy you call the king. So, or the GOAT, the true GOAT still dominates the phony GOAT from a distance, from retirement.
Skip, the man Skip, he started 20 years ahead start.
This must just tear apart LeBron James because he can't even get in the conversation.
Who's number 2? Who's number two? Okay, then.
And guess what? I was a little surprised Kevin Durant is right on LeBron's tail there. He's just right. He's nipping at it.
No, he's not.
Yeah, 32 to
figured you'd
26.
notice that.
Yes.
Well, $6 million difference? That ain't nipping.
I don't know, 32 to 26. He's in the ballpark.
Get 31 and a
LeBron
half,
is not
that's
in
nipping.
the ballpark.
Ain't nobody in the ballpark, Skip.
Well, come on. If you're the GOAT.
Skip, it's going to take LeBron to get a team LeBron. He's going to have to be the official shoe of some university, or get a player like a Zion.
You
to get
gotta
a player.
buy
That's
more
how it works.
shoes.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.